All right, what is going on, chat? I'm here. I'm gonna be watching some more of Liverpool regionals. All right, there we go. Gonna be watching some more of Liverpool regionals. Got day 2. The tournament did conclude. I think we're gonna jump right into it. What's up, Manor? What's up, Ramblin'? Hype for Orlando? I'm kind of, I don't know. I haven't had a lot of time to play with the new cards yet, to be honest. The Crown Zenith card, so I don't know how hyped I am for Orlando, or if it's just gonna be the exact same format basically as the current format, or Silver Tempest. So if Crown Zenith adds something, it'll be cool. I'm always excited to compete and play in a tournament. This one I feel a little bit more lost on, though, because I don't really want to play Lost Box Kyogre again. But one of my top picks, obviously. But there's some other stuff to try out. I'm gonna be working a lot on that this next week and the week after. The next 2 weeks, I'm gonna be working a lot on playing around with Crown Zenith stuff. So that is that's the plan. Plateau Sky Summon's the only good card. I'm hoping Radiant Eternatus adds some cool stuff, but it looks like it probably doesn't, to be honest. Besides maybe Duraludon. But Arceus Duraludon still might be the better of the two decks, to be honest. I don't know. What's in the bowl? Just yogurt and fruit. Alright, let's do it. I think I got everything set up right. Church's Shadow Rider seems pretty sick. Yeah, but sick and good aren't the same thing, unfortunately. Well, it would be cool if every sick deck was just good. Alright. Skip ahead here. The Guja killed it over the weekend in the end. Didn't get the dub, but still 2 Guja in top 8 is definitely something. Okay. Wait, game 2. Did I skip too far ahead? Day 2 starting soon. Oh, I think I missed game 1 because it was apparently so fast. Okay, hold up. Oh, Razby checking those prize cards, though. No one checks the prize cards like Razwolp. Alright, I think we're there. Check, check, check. Alright, we all set up? We all ready to go? Alright, getting into it. Let's get it. Round, what is this? Round 10. They do every round here, over there in Europe. So round 10. We got Mew, and it is Fusion Mew, I believe. I see the V-Guard energy and the Pokemon Catcher and the prize cards there from Ryan. So I believe it is Fusion Mew. Up against Lugia. I think this matchup is pretty close to 50-50. I think Mew's struggles come in other matchups, and that's why it kind of struggles in the format. I think whether you play Fusion Mew or Double Turbo Mew, I still think it is pretty close to 50-50. I don't actually know what build Leon was playing. I didn't watch any of the stream. So I'm not actually quite sure which build of Mew ends up winning the tournament. But yeah, I think this matchup is pretty close to 50-50. If Raz plays something like a Drapion, it gets a little bit more favored for Raz. I doubt Raz has a Drapion, but we'll see. Maybe. You never know. Raz is going first. Going first is a big deal. Generally a bigger deal in the Double Turbo build matchup. In the Fusion build matchup, it's definitely less relevant of who goes first. Going first isn't as big of a deal because the Fusion player can still get off that turn 1 attack and get the turn 1 knockout. So, yeah, it's not as big of a deal for sure. But can still be going first. Like the Lugia player still wants to go first overall, but less of a big deal for the Mew player. And as far as prize cards go, a Rangaroo being prized is never great. Actually, on Ryan's side, the V-Guard energy being prized is going to be a little bit annoying. But if Ryan gets a knockout with a Meloetta off the rip here, the V-Guard energy being prized will be in the first 2 prize cards that they get. So it won't actually be that big of a factor. So it has the Quick Ball as well on Raz's side for the Lugia. So Stoutland in the active is actually really bad for Raz. You want to open a 1-prize Pokemon, and then sometimes you can play it out where you don't have 3 2-prize Pokemon in play, and that can kind of be how you get the advantage in this matchup. And fully make Ryan take 4 KOs. And if you can force Ryan to take 4 KOs, you usually win the game, while you're taking a knockout every turn yourself. So that's kind of the game plan. Aurora to the Stoutland, actually. Interesting from Raz there to put the Aurora on the Stoutland. I mean, it makes more sense to me to put it on the Lugia on the bench. Putting it on the active doesn't really make a whole ton of sense to me, to be honest. Unless Raz doesn't know what build Ryan is playing. It's possible Raz doesn't know that Ryan's playing the Fusion Mew and thinks it's probably Double Turbo Mew, which is the more popular of the 2 Mew builds, I believe. Here we go. Cram off the rip from Ryan. Does have a Fusion Energy and the Battle VIP Pass in hand, so could already set up the Meloetta right now. That would cut quite a bit into Ryan's potential draw power, though, to not grab like a Battle VIP Pass here, though. So I'm curious to see what Ryan chooses to go with. It's counting the Fusion Energy, it looks like here, checking some prize cards. And yeah, nothing, like I said, nothing too important prized. I mean, the Switch card not being prized would probably be ideal for Ryan here. Because, I mean, you need to move this Genesect into the Meloetta, but it probably won't be a huge hindrance to Ryan in this one, I don't think. And lines up the Escape Rope actually as the take. Interesting choice on the Escape Rope. I would have thought the Elsa Sparkle or another Battle VIP Pass would have been the take here from Ryan. But I think Ryan is going all in on this one Genesect draw. Unless there's another card in hand I haven't seen here from Ryan that makes this a little bit... And Ryan might just have the Sparkle in hand and I didn't see it quite right. But we'll see. There's the Meloetta. There's the Mew. I think Ryan might just have the Sparkle. Oh no, that might be a Forest Seal Stone actually. I think Ryan might have the Forest Seal Stone in hand. Oh, and they do have the Forest Seal Stone in hand. All right. Goodbye, Lugia. I think you probably concede here as Raz after this happens. You could stick it out for one more turn, but I just don't see how you ever win this, to be honest. I think if I'm Raz here, I'm scooping because you have to push up Stoutland, and then Meloetta puts Ryan down to 2 prize cards. The games don't take too long in this matchup, but you never know how. Sometimes the Mew turns this just takes a long time, to be honest. Sometimes Mew just takes a long time to play through their turns. So if I was Raz here, I'd probably concede after my lone Lugia gets KO'd and I'm pushing up a Stoutland. If I was pushing up a 1-prizer, I would consider sticking it out, to be honest. But oof, and another Genesect is coming in hot here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Once Raz sees another Genesect coming down, we're like, all right, let's go to game 2. This gives Raz a little bit more info to work with, though. Going into game 2, knows it's the Fusion Mew now for sure, if they didn't know before. So that's good information to have on these turn 1 scenarios. Once again, open to 2-prize Pokemon. Not what you want to see here from Raz. You want to be opening like a Manaphy or a Dunsparce, the Oranguru. There's like so many good things to open in this matchup for Raz. There's like any 1-prize Pokemon, basically. The Charizard's a little bit awkward because then if they don't get the turn 1 KO, then it's hard to move the Charizard, but that's the only thing that can be kind of awkward is opening the Charizard, to be honest. You appreciate the 10 months or the 16 months there, Zub. Going to Orlando, haven't played since 2020. What's the most linear turn 1 deck? I would say go with Fusion Mew. I would not play Lugia. You're not going to have fun playing Lugia. You're going to have fun playing Fusion Mew, though. Won't hit many mirror matches. All right. Evolution Instance for the Archeops, and I think we do have an Ultra Ball in the hand from Raz, so we will see 2 Lugia coming down turn 1 here. And giving Raz a fighting chance in this one, and not the donk. Even if the donk happens, it won't be the end of the world. There we go. Ultra Ball's away a V-Star, and an Archeops grabs a Lugia V. Arcdura or Arcgoo. I wouldn't play Arcgoo. Lost Zone Goo is okay. Actually, Arcdura is another good shout, though, for sure. That and Regis, I would say. If you're picking between decks, I would say Fusion Mew, Reggie, Arcdura. Is Raz going to go back in? Is thinking about playing the Luminion right now. I don't like this, though. I think Raz is potentially thinking, okay, I mean, it is possible that Ryan plays Path to the Peak, but that's just so much for Ryan to get on the first turn. I think not putting this extra 2-prize Pokemon in play is worth the trade-off of potentially getting Path for the potential to top deck a draw supporter. Like, if you top deck Research, then you just don't have to put the Lumineon in play, and that's great. So I'm not sure I like this from Raz, because now you just have 3 2-prize Pokemon in play. You can... I guess you can attack with Lumineon, though, right? Like, if Raz goes attack with Meloetta, you go attack with Lumineon. So actually, maybe it's not as bad as I'm, like, making it out to be in my head. Lumineon is a little bit easier of a knockout, so that could lead to Ryan getting a 2-prize knockout on the first turn. But yeah, you could actually just attack with Lumineon as a follow-up. So yeah, I'm making it out to be a little bit worse than actually is. It's probably just fine to have Lumineon play, to be honest, overall. Let's go with the attachment active from Raz. I don't hate it. It's hard to pick where you want to attach. You definitely want to attach to one of the Lugias, but if Ryan plays Escape Rope, then you send up the bench Lugia that has energy, and if Ryan doesn't play the Escape Rope, then the active Lugia with the energy gets KO'd. You could have attached to the Lumineon, but then if Ryan does play Oricorio, Ryan could turn one attack with Meloetta with Oricorio in play, which wouldn't allow the Meloetta to get the KO, or wouldn't allow the Lumineon to get the KO on the Meloetta, so probably don't want to... put the double turbo on the Lumineon. So on the active Lugia, I guess is fine. I mean, it's like how many Escape Rope does Ryan play? How many Switch card or Switch does Ryan play? You don't really know. So it's hard to tell where the energy should go. If you know they play more Switch than Escape Rope, it should go on the bench Lugia. If you know they play more Escape Rope than Switch, it should go on the active. But you can't really make that call here as Raz. So I don't hate the attachment active. I think it's fine. Battle VIP pass off the rip once again from Ryan. I believe has 2 Genesects in hand. And I think has the 4 Seal Stone. So already a ridiculously good start once again from Ryan. I'm expecting a 2-prize knockout. Gets the Oricorio. That's interesting. That's an interesting grab there from Ryan. I would think that you'd maybe want to prioritize that after your Meloetta has gone down. We could see Ryan do a play where you like... I mean, I guess the chance of Raz going like boss KO your lone Mew off the bench next turn is probably not happening. So maybe Ryan's fully playing into that, not being a factor. But Oricorio doesn't become a factor until... Yeah, Oricorio is not really a factor until the Meloetta has gone down. So it's an interesting choice from Ryan, because you definitely are leaving up the possibility of Raz now going Gust KO your lone Mew V, which I think would be pretty bad. The one thing that could happen here is... Ryan could put the Fusion Strike energy on the Meloetta and the Oricorio and not on the Mew. So then that way, even if you chase the Mew, it doesn't matter. And I believe Ryan's close here. Ryan has the Sparkle in hand, can go grab a Fusion energy off of this Cram. Oh no, and that actually even has the 4 Seal Stone. So yeah, Ryan has it all mapped out here right now. Can get the knockout easily on the Lugia, I think. I think it's just like almost KO'd. You maybe need one modifier. Yeah, you only need one. You do need a modifier, I think, here as Ryan, or a switch card. So like, you just draw with the other Genesects before you use the 4 Seal Stone, and you should draw into it, no problem. I'm curious as to what Ryan took off of that Cram. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I'm actually not sure. It was the Escape Rope. So once again, going in with the Escape Rope. Interesting choice there from Ryan. Did have the switch card in the deck. I think Ryan wants the Lumineon pushed here, but yeah, it's correct for Raz to definitely push up the Lugia, and now we see the catcher happening, and I think Ryan will go after. Yep, goes after the Lumineon, so that way it can't be shuffled back into the deck after the Meloetta takes the knockout, especially because Raz discarded a Lugia V-Star. Ooh, double Fusion Strike energy drawn, but that should be fine. That should be fine. So there's still 2 in the deck, and the Sparkle's in the hand here for Ryan, and still has the 4 Seal Stone. So still fine here for Ryan. Yeah, so going to take out this Lumineon. Yeah, ends up targeting the Meloetta and the Oricorio. If you do target your Mew here, it's your only Mew. And that's why I'm just like, that's why I don't understand why Ryan prioritized the Oricorio here. Yeah, I don't know why Ryan prioritized getting the Oricorio here. Maybe you just want to force the Fusion Energy on one prize Pokemon. So even if you had gotten double Mew and put a Fusion Energy on one of the Mews, you don't want Raz to be able to go like 2 prize, 2 prize, 2 prize. But I don't even know if that's possible in the situation that Raz is currently in with how many cards they have. I don't even know if that would like be a thing. Especially after you saw Raz go Lumineon for research. The chance that Raz has a Gust, has like Lugia V-Star, Archeops, Gust KO is just like so low. I feel like you could have just gone double Mew here. I don't know. This still seems fine overall. I believe still has one use of Genesect left. Probably should just throw the Choice Belt down on the Meloetta. I don't know why you would hold that over trying to... That's interesting. So would rather play a tablet than the Choice Belt, I guess. I guess that does make sense to some extent because you want to... Oh, no, it's a Luminion. You don't need the Choice Belt. Never mind. I thought we were knocking out a Lugia here. I was trying to like, all right, we're trying to do 220. We're only trying to do 170. So you get to save the Choice Belt. You get to save the modifier here, which is that much better for Ryan to then get through these Lugias. All right, so the first two prize cards have been drawn from Ryan. I assume Ryan also plays Echoing Horn. They might not. It would be my guess, though. I would have hated to see the Fusion Energy go to the Mew, but I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. I think Raz maybe has a Gust effect and is debating KOing the lone Mew. Maybe not, though. We know they have the Research in the hand. I can't tell what that is, to be honest. Is that second Luminion? It is second Luminion. If you're going with the Luminion here, I feel like the Gust is happening. But I think there's only one Archeops in the discard pile here as well. And then this Meloetta is swinging if you Gust KO the Mew here. If you get two Lugia V-Stars online, if Raz does play... If Raz plays the second Lugia V-Star and can get that into play, I think you're in like a fine spot here as Raz. But it looks like that is not the case. Has an Ultra Ball, a lot of energy, can get the second Archeops in the discard pile, but is not going to be able to find... Can get second Archeops, but actually can't find a second V-Star. So that Lugia V on the bench is going to be going down next turn. So we're probably going to see Raz go for Lugia, quick ball it away, grab a target there, and then, I mean, if this plays out how Ryan wants it to, and the thing is the Lugia deck doesn't play any heavy hand disruption. Like, you don't really disrupt decks setups as Raz's deck. Like, Raz's deck does not disrupt setups. Like, you set up your Lugias, you swing, and like theoretically in most situations you kind of out prize trade your opponent. Sometimes Marnie can get there, but Marnie doesn't really get there up against Mew decks. Like, Marnie's not enough to beat Mew unless you got like Path to go with it. So oh, wait a second though. Well, no, we're still behind in the prize trade. I said the Raikou, I was gonna say the Raikou's about to come out here actually, which is pretty cool here from Raz. Actually, this kind of like invalidates this whole play from Ryan then. I guess that Raikou exists. The Raikou plays pretty clean here from Raz. It also keeps a 2-prizer out of the active. Yeah, I really like this play from Raz. This makes sense too. You go with Raikou, you KO Meloetta, KO Oricorio. Yeah, I like this a ton. And this kind of like makes like Ryan's play actually kind of bad, to be honest. Like the whole like not getting two Mews and just attaching the energy to the Mew. This like opened up a pretty easy way. This is maybe the easiest way for Raz to get 2 prize cards this turn while fully setting up like double Archeops and stuff. If Raz had gone like 1 Archeops plus Gust KO lone Mew, then you're leaving the Fusion Energy in play. But this allows Raz to get 2 prize cards and remove the Fusion Energy from play. So actually, yeah, I think this actually ended up better for Raz than Ryan. And I think Ryan's probably regretting not just benching a Mew with the Fusion. But I guess in that scenario, well... That does make things weird. Yeah, I think that would have still just been better from Ryan too. Like, once again, looking back at it, it felt better in general. And I think now that I see the Raikou play happening, which I didn't think about in the moment, it does feel like that would have been a little bit better. All right, here we go again. Or are we not attacking with the Raikou? Double Turbo and Capture. Oh no, I think there might be an Aurora in the hand. I think there is an Aurora in the hand. So we still are. We're still attacking with Raikou here. I don't think Raz has attached an energy for turn. So Raikou's still happening. Let's see. Yep. Keeps the Pumpkaboo around as the last card in the hand over the Capture Energy. I'm not sure I agree with that. Ooh, and actually switches it up here. This is probably better as well from Raz. Actually knocks out the Meloetta, but then actually sets up the damage on the Mew, which actually this makes more sense when I see this as well. I was like, ooh, we can go for the 2 prizes. But to be honest, the 2 prizes don't even really matter. You'd rather hit the Mew so you can make it easier to KO the Mew. Because you can't Yveltal anymore as Raz. This does take away your Yveltal play. Maybe it was... No, but it also keeps a 1-prizer out of your active, which is also good as well, I guess. No, I like this more from Raz as Raz. I like the plays Raz is making for sure. And now it can be awkward for Ryan to attack this turn, to be honest. Ryan has a ton of energy in the hand, but there's no double turbos. So once again, that Fusion Energy being on the Oricorio feels kind of off. It feels a little bit stranded. And the play here from Ryan definitely wants to be Ryan is trying to knock out that Lugia V before it gets a chance to evolve, or knock out the Lugia V before it evolves, or you want to Echoing Horn the Luminion and KO that if you like whiff the modifier. You want to Echoing Horn the Luminion in general this turn if you can. It could get shuffled back into the deck by KO and Oricorio, but that puts Raz on an odd or on a weird prize trade where they still need to take 2 knockouts after that. So if you can find the Echoing Horn this turn as Ryan, you definitely want to. It was a Tails on the Cram. I think it's possible Ryan would have just like searched out an Ultra Ball there and Ultra Balled those 2 energy away because they're useless at this point. And another pretty bad hand to work with here from Ryan. So once again, this Fusion Energy being on the Oricorio has become super awkward. Like, this is what makes this hand so awkward. If that Fusion Energy was just on a Mew, this hand from Ryan would be fine. So once again, I'm like not sure that Fusion Energy being on the Oricorio, like forcing out the Oricorio play kind of like Ryan did, felt weird. But I guess like the argument kind of would be in that situation. Well, it's like, okay, well, is there an argument for that though? Like, if we think back to like the initial opening that Ryan had, like if Ryan went Meloetta, KO Lugia V, don't gust the Luminion. Well, you kind of want to KO Luminion before it goes back to the deck though, right? You do kind of want to do that. All right, so you KO Luminion, Lugia comes up, KOs your, let's say you put a Fusion Energy on your bench Mew V. Lugia comes up and KOs it. Well, you can just push Meloetta again and you attach the 3rd Fusion Energy for turn, and then Meloetta is doing actually more damage than a Mew would do anyways, right? And then you're just like, okay, but now you need back-to-back gust effects, and you're potentially taking knockouts as Ryan as well. You know there's not 2 Archeops in the discard pile yet, so you could even go with a weird play where you like gust KO lone Archeops, and then KO the Lugia after that. Yeah, so overall, I think this Oricorio play is just worse than not, to be honest. Yeah, I think the Oricorio play is just worse than the other play. Worse than just the Mew with the Fusion. Although I would have been interested to like see that play happen and see how that played out as well, to be honest. I'd like to see how both plays play out, but so the Oricorio I feel like is just incorrect. Yeah, it just feels bad. It just feels like it's worse than just like having because you're already getting so far ahead as Ryan with the play of the initial 1-hit KO with the Meloetta that you can kind of ride that, I feel like, throughout the rest of the game and just win the game from there. I feel like it's possible that you just kind of just ride that early lead and just kind of take over from there. Now I'm curious to see how this plays out from here, because if Ryan doesn't get a 2-prize knockout here on this turn, then Raz can start to pull ahead in the prize exchange for sure. We can look for Raz to KO this Mew. Raz did go down to 1 card in hand and only drew 1 prize card. So a sneaky play here that Ryan could do could be to Psychic Leap, KO the Raikou, and send up the Oricorio. We do see the double turbo energy though, and 1 tablet has been used, and we still have the V-Star power here for Ryan. Oh, I forgot that the V-Star power was still around, to be honest. So Ryan's been actually in like an okay spot, I feel like, for a little while here. There it is. I assume a boss will be found here to KO the Lugia V off the bench. That would be my assumption. Or a Serena, I guess, could also be taken here to do that. And then next turn is going to look for the big 1-hit KO on the Lugia V Star. And then on Raz's side, because that Raikou damage was set up on the Mew, you can attack this turn with Charizard, and Charizard can KO the Mew. And I assume that'll be the play that Raz goes for. Charizard KO Mew. Maybe play a Marnie. I don't know how much you feel you need to disrupt Ryan's hand. Ryan's hand was like, Ryan was drawing pretty awkwardly initially. So I don't think you actually want to disrupt Ryan's hand. It could be a fair call to assume that his hand is still pretty or reasonably awkward. But we'll see what happens here. Also, if you can get the V-Guard energy. Oh, no, but the 4th Aurora is prized for Raz, actually. So if Raz plays the Heat, it's still possible. But no Heat, and you're going to have trouble. Also, if Raz plays the V-Guard energy, you're going to want to get that on your Lugia this turn as well. And you also want to fill your bench, so that way you can't be... and I do see the Heat energy in the deck there from Raz. So we're going with the Charizard game plan. And if Raz plays the V-Guard energy, can throw that on the Lugia as well. And then that'll make it that much harder, if not maybe impossible, for Ryan to get a 1-hit KO on the next turn, to be honest. So, we'll see. I mean, his hand sucks, so he can't fill his bench. No, he has a Pumpkaboo in hand, so he can bench Pumpkaboo to fill the bench. Hopefully Raz sees that, or maybe Raz just knows if Ryan doesn't potentially play the Echoing Horn. Capture and Heat, it looks like, going to be making their way to the Charizard. And then, like I said, yeah, filling the bench makes the most sense to me here from Raz. It would open, there would be like a weird line of play from Ryan where Ryan could Psychic Leap a Mew back into the deck for a turn to put damage on Lugia and then send up Oricorio afterwards. And if you don't have a bench space for Luminion, if you don't have a bench space for the Luminion, then you can't search out a Gust Effect and chase a 2-prize Pokemon. So Raz would be at 2 prizes, but with a 1-prizer in the active. Evolution Incense here, probably just going to grab another Archeops. And I don't even know if Raz plays 3 Lugia V-Star or just plays the 2, so that's like another thing. Goes with the Archeops, though. Gets that into hand. And yeah, the Charizard attack's coming down here. And it's once again going to leave a 1-prize Pokemon in the active, so Ryan's got to find the full new VMAX energy. I think if there's no V-Guard energy there, so it looks like Raz doesn't play the V-Guard. So now the Mew, it is possible. Double Tablet Choice Belt. Ryan definitely has that left in the deck here. So, because they did just pull, actually they pulled a Choice Belt or a Tablet off the prize cards. And I'm assuming this build of Mew will always be playing 2 Choice Belt. I guess it's possible Ryan only plays 1 Choice Belt, which might make it actually impossible, but I would assume there's 2. Starting with a Quick Ball here, going to get rid of the V-Guard energy. Once again, Clog in the hand is the energy. We'll see if everything's in the deck here for Ryan or not. I think it is. I think Ryan there. I see the second Choice Belt. I think Ryan has the possibility to pull it off this turn. Might need to, I assume has like, I discarded a boss turn 1 actually. Discarded a boss turn 1 and used Serena on the last turn. So I think it's possible Ryan might be out of Gust Effects and might have to Silene into Catcher to actually, he does not have Pump in hand. Are you sure? I thought I saw Pumpkaboo in Raz's hand. I thought Raz ended the last turn with just Lone Pumpkin in the hand. I could be wrong. All right, here comes the Silene. Heads. And could have been double heads. At least 1 heads. The Pokemon catcher is coming back. It looks like it was just 1. Goes on top of the deck. Stuff's going to get played. Double Tablet. Draw from Genesect number 1. We've only seen 1 catcher so far from Ryan, so there's probably more catchers in the deck as well. Doesn't have the energy. Has 2 catchers now to work with. Still needs a little bit to go, though. Needs the energy. And needs another modifier. Needs energy and a modifier. Now has the VMAX in hand, though. Not many cards left in deck. Still 2 Genesects to work with. So I think pretty good odds here for Ryan to get all the cards, and then it just comes down to whether or not the catchers are heads. Catcher number 1. You almost want, okay, it is a heads. You almost want this one to be tails and the next one to be heads. So you could burn 1 more card out of the hand. 6 double cram. This whole hand can definitely be played here for Ryan. The whole hand can get played out here. Cram 1. Tails. Cram 2. The tails. Okay, here comes the vacuum. Going to discard the catcher. Or Lost Zone the catcher, and then also Lost Zone for Seal Stone. I was wondering if Ryan was maybe going to mess up that sequencing there, because you could always play the Parasol, but had a target. Last Genesect, Choice Belt, and the energy, and that's it. That's game. And they can't figure out how to shake hands, but they do it in the end. And yeah, Ryan gets the dub 2-0 over Raz with the Fusion Mew. I don't think there was anything else different to be done there, right? Raz could have not put down the Luminion. No, there was something different. So Raz should have not. We can just go back real fast. So Raz should have not put down Luminion here, because it did give Ryan the knockout on the Luminion, right? Or not this Luminion. It was this Luminion. This Luminion from Raz actually shouldn't have been put in play, right? Did Raz throw by not getting V-Guard, or he doesn't play in the list? I don't think he plays the V-Guard. Actually, I want to see if he had the Pumpkaboo in the hand. I'm pretty sure there was a Pumpkaboo. I might be trolling, though. I might be trolling. Would have been at the attack with the... I think that last card in hand is Pumpkin. Well, maybe we should go forwards to see it. Okay, let's see. No, it's definitely not Pumpkaboo. It's a powerful energy. I know you're doing your own casting over the game, so but did you get a chance to hear the casting beforehand? No. I haven't watched a casted game of Pokemon in a long time. Yo, Joe Yeats, bro. Let's get it. All right, hold on, let me back this up a little bit. What's in the bowl? Yogurt and fruit. I was Joe Yeats up 2-0 already. Dude, am I like so deep into this game? What the heck? It's probably like pronounced Yates, right? Joe Yates. We're gonna go with Yeats though. The A is silent. You sent me decks to try and review. No, not today. I was thinking about like doing a channel point redemption for that, or like doing maybe a stream where I like review lists from the chat or something. Giving it some thought. I guess like not review. I want to just like review them, but I would look at them and I would like try and fix them with whatever ideas the chat had. Yeah, they need to fix the records as well. All right. Let's get into it. We got round number... What do we got? Round number 11. We got Joe with the Cherim Snorlax, which I don't know what's fully in this deck. We're going to find out, though. Versus Stefan with the Lugia. So here comes the Snorlax. I think it's just a bunch of Snorlaxes. If I'm not mistaken, this deck is literally just a bunch of Snorlaxes. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this deck from Joe is literally just a bunch of Snorlaxes. And I guess you got to play the Cherim in there to set up the Snorlaxes, but pass. See what they got. They got the Raikou in the hand. It looks like they got a Research as well and an Aurora Energy, so pretty good start here. Has a Charizard as well, and the question I guess just becomes, do you want to put this Charizard in play? You definitely, I think, want to put the Raikou in play, because the option of the Raikou to potentially take multiple prize cards on Cherims or something seems pretty good. Yeah, the possibility of, I think you probably want to put the Raikou in play, but I don't know, if you put the Raikou in play, does Joe just go find Manaphy and then it becomes irrelevant? It's possible, I guess, but I think you'd probably put it in play. Look at the prize cards. Nothing super relevant prize for either player, I don't think. There's a Snorlax and an Ordinary Rod prize on Joe's side. There's a Choice Belt prize on Joe's side as well, which I'm sure is Joe's way to deal with... Well, maybe you just want Choice Belt. What do you do, 210? I was saying Joe's way to deal with Stoutland, but I guess Stoutland's probably not too big of a deal for Joe. I mean, Stoutland going and KOing your Cherubies isn't great, but they're going to be on your bench most of the time. So probably not a huge deal for Joe, to be honest. And we could even see Joe attacking turn 2 without even setting up the Cherim. I assume Joe plays Twin Energy. I might be incorrect on that, but I'm going to assume Joe that Joe does play Twin Energy. We'll see. There's the Raikou. Here comes an Aurora for it. I think the Charizard should probably be benched here because you probably want it as an option for a one-prize attacker later on in the game, because it could attack for just one Aurora Energy later. So I don't like the choice to not bench the Charizard here. It's also possible maybe not attaching the Aurora is correct as well, because now you don't have access to Capture Energy to find Lugia, and I think that is going to be the problem here. There's the Capture Energy, no Quick Ball, no Ultra Ball, and no Lugia V, though. So going to be a turn behind here for Stefan. Yeah, can't attach the Capture. Maybe you should have just discarded the Aurora. Maybe you shouldn't have attached it to the Raikou and, you know, kept around that option. And that's definitely coming back to bite them here. That's one of the things you have to kind of debate when you go to play your supporter. But if you're going to attach before you play your supporter with the Lugia deck, if you don't have your Lugia yet. So I think maybe you should have discarded. It depends how valuable Raikou actually ends up being in this matchup, to be honest. I don't even know how valuable it's going to be. We see the attachment from Joe. Did get the twin. and I believe has a Birdkeeper in hand, so it can just Birdkeeper into the Snorlax and start swinging. I think also has a Switch card, so we'll be able to get the Snorlax reset potentially for the next turn as well. Double Switch card, actually. Oh, got a Quick Ball as well. I don't think you really need to Quick Ball this turn. Those are a lot of good cards in the hand. You might want to play double Switch card. You might want to research next turn. Yeah, I almost feel like Joe just shouldn't play this Quick Ball. I guess you could give up the Marnie, or actually maybe you keep the Marnie and actually give up the Serena, and then have the option of research versus... No, maybe you're just always researching next turn, to be honest. If I'm looking at it, you maybe just always researching. I am interested to see Joe actually take a look at this deck so we can actually see what this deck plays. I think I saw a Greninja in there. We see the Manaphy, of course. I think I saw a Training Court, Ordinary Rod, and it's just a bunch of Snorlaxes. There's a there's a Drapion. Yeah, it's just literally just a bunch of Snorlaxes. It's literally just Cherim Snorlax. Like, you just set up Snorlaxes with Cherim, and then you attack, and that's the deck. That is that's the deck. That's the deck. Gets the Manaphy ahead of time. I like that. I like the Manaphy grab. This is why I was like kind of debating how good is the Raikou. I actually think that Charizard was pretty good, to be honest. But I think attacking with Lugia wants to be your main focus here, because it is a 2-prize Pokemon, but Joe will be 2-hit KOing them, and you'll be drawing 2 prize cards per Lugia. So I would like to have seen... I mean, you want to see Lugias. So Snorlax wakes up. Not much better for Joe, and setting up pretty smoothly so far. Ordinary Rod off the prize cards is not a great prize card to pull, because if you're going to research next turn, you're going to lose that. We could just see Joe go with the Marnie, though, to try and conserve that. We'll see. Now, the second Archeops here for Joe, and I believe does have a research in hand, but once again, does not have a Lugia. So it's going to be a turn behind, or 2 turns. There's a turn behind. Going to be a turn behind with everything. I guess it feels like 2 turns behind because Joe went first, though. Joe's going to draw 2 prize cards before this game even really starts, to be honest. It's the Lugia. And yeah, we'll see Joe swing with Snorlax next turn, taking out the Raikou. We'll see if Stefan even goes for anything else this turn. Had some draw supporting options in the hand. Had the Luminion, but as long as you have the Lugia V-Star in the hand, or now to get it, you don't really need to play anything. I don't know if Joe has that, though. Actually, I think doesn't, so probably should go with the research here. We'll lose some more energy. There's a lot of energy actually starting to get away from Stefan here. So yeah, Lugias are going to definitely have to be the main attacker. It's too powerful now, biting the dust in the discard pile. I could see a world where you hold out onto that hand for 1 more turn, but yeah. I mean, you got to find the Lugia V-Star. Does find it this time. Has a Quick Ball as well. I definitely would like to see another Lugia V get benched here. I think that is just, like I said, once again, I think that's just your main attacker is the Lugia V-Star. Like, Joe 2-hit KOs it. You 2-hit KO them. You just can go back and forth with that, and that's just kind of fine, I think, in this matchup. Just to go back and forth with 2-hit KOs. I actually wonder how Joe can ever get an edge in this matchup if Lugia just goes first. Like, if Lugia goes first and attacks turn 2, is that it? Is the game just over? Set up 2 Lugias, and then set up a Charizard, and you could even attack with Archeops in this matchup because you can just don't need powerful energy on your Lugia, so you can save your powerful energy for your Archeops. So if Joe just goes second in this matchup, I think you literally just lose. So it literally just comes down to probably who goes first or who whiffs an attack. Prioritizes the Dunsparce there, which not going to do anything important. I don't know if I don't think it's hitting the bench here. I don't think they're that scared of. You see Cherubi. But to be honest, though, like, a lot of people don't know what some of these more fringe cards do. I mean, I would assume they know what Cherim does. Or at least know about it a little bit and know, oh, it's a stage 1 grass Pokemon that accelerates energy. They are prioritizing saving the Raikou here. Actually, I don't think I agree with that. The Manaphy's in play. What are we saving Raikou for? I don't think there's anything worth saving Raikou for here. Probably want to save to the powerful energy, though, to actually KO that Manaphy with. Yeah, I don't think I would just let the Raikou get KO'd there. I guess this does play around escape rope, allowing them to punch your Lugia, but that's still a 1-for-1 trade-off of 1 attack for 1 prize card, so I don't know if that's that bad to happen anyways, to be honest. Asking the hand count size. Thinking about doing with the Marnie to probably conserve. The Ordinary Rod is like the big card there. It also conserves the Switch cards, which I mean is nice to conserve. Loads up the Manaphy to make it a pivot. And then, yeah, there's the Marnie from Joe. Trying to conserve the resources. This is why you should read the entire standard format every couple of weeks. I used to do that with each new set release. I would reread every card, or I would look through every card in the standard format. I wouldn't read all of them, but Try and draw some inspiration from them. Got some shoes in the hand. And is that a boost shake? No, it's a level ball. It looked like a boost shake to me. I'm not going to lie. That looked like a boost shake. All right. The Forbidden Cherrim is online. Let's get it. That's what I'm talking about here. Got the Cherrim. And need more Snorlax, though. Curious as to what the question is here. I'm always interested when play actually fully stops. It's not like they're just like chit-chatting. They're like, something's going on. What is happening? Definitely should use the Trekking Shoes here as Joe. If you get a bad card, it gets discarded. I think you just want to thin out your deck. Like if you hit 4 bad cards in a row, then those cards are all gone. I don't know why there's a big debate here from Joe about using this Trekking Shoes. There we go, Trekking Shoes. Probably can discard that. Draw the next. Okay, it's a Marty. And once again, I would use the next Trekking Shoes because if you hit a bad card, it gets discarded. It's not in your deck. If you get Marty next turn, there's no more bad cards in your deck. Okay, Trekking Shoes. I think I like that one, though. That finds the next Snorlax. And Joe agrees. We'll even see if we can get rid of the Cherubi. This does open up, I feel like, a little bit of an opportunity here from Stefan to actually boss KO the Cherrim off the bench. And then from there, KO the Snorlax and hope that maybe sets back Joe from being able to, like, chain attackers. So I think there is an opportunity here for a boss KO on this Cherrim, to be honest. I think that actually wouldn't be a terrible play. We'll see. Yeah, just a Choice Belt and a Marnie. So there's just the swing, knock out the Dunsparce, and are we awake? We're not, but that's fine. Even if you stay to sleep again, going back into the turn, if Stefan's not taking a knockout to reset your sleep or bossing KOing something else up off the bench, they're not taking a knockout. So, I mean, that sounds like a fine place to be to me. Ball coming out here. It seems like almost everyone played. It looks like everyone played Canceling Cologne in the Lugias. Research grab from Stefan. Oh, yeah, I forgot they did get Marnie. I was like, why aren't we just going with the... I thought we had like a draw supporter in hand. But no draw supporter in hand because we did get Marnie. Now Luminion's on the bench. Luminion being on the bench is actually pretty bad for Stefan because it gives him 2 prize cards for 1 attack. Did have a Marnie in hand as well. I actually don't like this play at all. I don't think it's worth... You're already behind as Stefan, and now you're giving yourself another chance to, like, even if you can somehow get ahead from here, now you have a Luminion in play that Joe could gust up with Serena or Boss at some point and then get back ahead in the prize exchange. So actually, I really dislike this bench here. Also, Stefan didn't bench a Lugia last turn, which I would have liked to have seen happen. Because like I said, Lugia V-Star is probably the best attacker in this matchup. So Stefan did draw into a Lugia V here, which could have been the one that would have been on the bench. So that should have already been on the bench last turn. And yeah, I think benching the Luminion's not worth the risk. So I don't like the bench of the Luminion there for sure. No boss and Cherrim. I'm just talking from Stefan's perspective of not knowing what Joe plays. But I guess it is good to know that there's no boss in the deck. All right. And there's a lot of energy down here as well. I don't even know how many attackers. And actually, I think Stefan is realizing that. How much energy is left. There's like not much. Actually, I don't even know if you could attack with 2 Lugias at that point. I don't even know if you could. All right. Lugia is loaded up. We're swinging. Gonna have to hope that Joe whiffs here. Gonna have to hope that Joe whiffs here with a follow-up attack. On the next turn. Oh, Joe's not even very confident in their chances. They sent up a Manaphy here. Goodbye, switch card. Hello, Research. I do like the Research use here, I think, instead of the Marnie. Just like draw cards. We're looking for an attack here. More Laxes. Let's get it. We're whiffing a Twin Energy, but we still have the Puke. Will the Puke come in clutch here? Or... There we go. Puke. Training Court. That's not enough. Going to be short 1 energy here for Joe. And going to have to whiff an attack this turn, unfortunately. I think I saw Collapse Stadium. I think I saw the Collapse Stadium in the deck there for Joe, which is interesting. Maybe it's for the Reggie matchup. To try and give you a chance in that matchup to get ahead. It is a 1 prize matchup, back and forth, knockout for knockout. But at some point, maybe gives you a chance to win when you whiff the first prize knockout. So we should probably see 2 grass energy get loaded up here from Joe. Probably 1 on each Snorlax. You could do 2 grass on 1 Snorlax, but that's a pretty heavy investment into 1 Snorlax, I feel like. And if they boss KO that Snorlax, then you'd still have access to possibly the training court. But I think more specifically, you'd have access to the Cherrim. So you definitely want to put some energy in play here. There's the retreat. So wants to preserve the Manaphy. I don't know how important. No, not the pass. Oh, no. That is such a huge misplay from Joe. That is a massive. All right, let's talk about this fully. Let's talk about what just happened. All right. So here, Joe has training court. I believe there's a grass in the discard pile, and there's a grass in hand. Joe can put both of these energy into play if they want to. And I think Joe actually overvalues the Manaphy here, I feel like. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe you don't want the Manaphy to go down and then have your Cherrim. Oh, actually, it's probably a pretty good play actually here from Joe to preserve the Manaphy, because what could happen is Stefan could go like KO Manaphy next turn, and then Joe go and then Joe's like, okay, that's fine. Attack my Snorlax, and it stays asleep. And then Stefan goes, hit your Snorlax with Raikou, and then snipe your Cherrim. So actually, I kind of like the preserving of the Manaphy. I was like a little bit. I was like, is it that good? So we definitely need to put some energy in play here, because if we put 0 energy in play here as Joe, their Cherrim could get yeeted, and then you don't have any energy in play, and you just can't attack next turn. So Joe has to put some amount of energy in play here. Also, I like just putting Training Court in play because Lugia decks don't play as many stadium bumps as they used to, and Pumpkaboos are like their main go-to, but no one wants to put Pumpkaboo on their bench. So I'd like to see Training Court hit the field here, recover an energy, and then the question becomes, okay, can also Stoutland Manaphy? Actually, I don't think Stefan can Stoutland Manaphy. I think there's 2 powerful energy in the discard pile and 1 on the Lugia. So Stoutland can't be used to KO Manaphy anymore in this game. That's generally a concern, yeah. But in this game, I believe there's 3 powerfuls out of play now. So Stoutland's not a threat anymore. The question then becomes, should you put 2 grass energy on 1 Snorlax, or 1 grass energy on 2 Snorlax, or just 1 grass energy on 1 Snorlax? And I think 2 grass energy on 1 Snorlax is the best play. It gives you the highest chance to attack next turn while preserving your Cherrim. So Lugia is just going to discard the stadium. Oh, that's true. I forgot about Lugia discarding the stadium, to be honest. Yeah, that's true. I guess you might. The question, I guess, then becomes, do you even want to put a second energy in play? 2 energy on 1 Snorlax protects your Cherrim the most, though. That means you can probably attack. You're most likely to be able to attack as a follow-up. But you do still have 3 twin energy left here as Joe. So I think maybe holding the training court is actually fine then, and just going to attach the Snorlax pass. I forgot about, dude, I always forget. I always forget about Lugia bumping stadiums. I literally never remember it, ever. Even when I play in tournaments and I'm playing Lost Box with Pokestop, I always just assume the Pokestop is surviving a turn. And then they bump it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. This card is broken. I forgot. So definitely a big misplay here from Joe. And Stefan top decked boss, I believe. Oh, now I want to see if they top decked it. There's the hey, let's go. The punish. You love it. Actually, like, this is not Stefan getting lucky. This is Joe getting punished. Don't confuse the 2 things. This is not Stefan getting lucky and top decking boss. This is Joe getting appropriately punished by the Poke Gods. You love to see it. You love the boss top deck there. Now, Stefan still has to play it correctly, though. And will they boss KO the Cherubi or Cherrim? Come on, do it. Boss it. We're looking at the Ultra Ball here first. I mean, no! No! You gotta boss kill the Cherrim there. Now, Stefan really... So, I don't put too much... Like, this is not a matchup that Stefan has practiced or played at all. Yeah, this is not a matchup that Stefan has practiced or played at all. So I put a little bit less emphasis on this misplay than most, because, like, who the fuck knows what Snorlax Cherrim does? You don't know. Does he just not know what Cherrim does? It's possible. It is possible. But whenever this has happened way too much throughout my Pokemon career, and I do this whenever I enter the situation. The amount of times I have put a card in my discard pile or in play, and my opponent looks at it. And I know when I put it in play that they have no clue what that card does, and then they just don't pick it up to read it, and then I use it, and they're like, wait, what? And then they read it is just way too high. Or the amount of times when I put like a weird card in play, my opponent reads it, and then I use it, and they're like, oh wait, it does that? It's just like, if you see a card go into play and you don't know what it does, just pick it up and read the card and figure out what it does, and then strategize from there. So yeah, I mean, I don't blame Stefan too much for making this mistake here because, like, I mean, who goes up against Snorlax? I mean, not knowing what Cherrim does is 100% on Stefan for the scenario because the card is in play, so Stefan could just pick it up and read it. But Stefan's maybe thinking KOing the Snorlax is better than KOing the Cherrim because, well, if Joe just has Raihan in hand, but that's just like a bad reason. There's no good reason here, to be honest. You always KO the Cherrim here. I'm trying to get Stefan out of this one after the godlike top. That's so unfortunate because we saw them top deck the boss. It would be one thing if they didn't have a boss, but Stefan literally top decked the boss, and then it's just like, all right, I'll kill your Snorlax. Like, no. All right. Joe gets helped out a little bit here in this one. That is for sure. Okay, we got triple grass cooking right now for Joe. So Joe can accelerate 3 grass into play. Could ordinary rod back a couple Snorlax as well. Here we go. Training court. Cover the grass. A bit of a missequencing here from Joe. Should definitely play the supporter before doing this. It's not a huge deal. Actually, does Cherrim only work on bench Pokemon? That doesn't change anything, actually, but it doesn't. Okay. I thought it was just basic Pokemon. We should probably just see Joe go all out here. And triple grass on the active through the Cherrim. Ooh, Serena the Luminian. Actually, right now, I actually do like this. I do like this from Joe. It's possible Stefan could find... And actually, I don't know if Stefan has the energy left, but Stefan could go, like, have gone KO Cherrim and put Luminian back into the deck. I don't think Stefan has the energy to support that play in this game anymore. But yeah, I like this. I like the Luminian chase. Like, right now, you may as well, right? Just go ahead and get it done. Yeah, so the training court's about to leave play, so you definitely want to... so, like, shuffling this grass back into the deck. That's what I want to say. It doesn't really matter. A couple lax and a grass back to the deck for Joe. Thinking about maybe not getting the second lax, it feels like. But yeah, I think you're grabbing second lax here. I think that makes sense. So Joe gets the lax back to the deck. We got a lax attacking, looking good. Getting this 2 prize cards on Luminian, and it's a research and a grass, which is like not a huge deal because Joe has a ton of supporters in hand. But getting another supporter back into the deck before you get Marnied potentially would be nice. And the grass energy is definitely very nice here for Joe. So the grass energy is nice. Research, meh. Could do with it, could do without it. The other 2 cards is probably better than the other 2 cards, that's for sure. And the lax woke up. Let's get it. Also, Stefan forgot to bump the training court. Oh, no. Joe didn't put the training court in play. That's right. Joe didn't put the training court in play. They didn't attach any energy. No one got punished. We're back on course. Another classic game of Pokemon. All right, a little bit of a deck search here from Stefan. Not many options left, like I mentioned before. Could have had the Charizard in play as a good attacking option, though, to follow up later on here. I'm not going to have that as an option. Eyes up, just an Archeops, thin that out of the deck. There's like, what, 1 energy in the deck, and I think there's 1 double turbo in the hand. There is 2 energy prize, so it is possible for them to set up another Lugia here. Still, Stefan has not committed to benching another Lugia V down, which they really need to do. Get rid of the training court. Love to see that. We saw Lugia players forgetting to do that yesterday. And over to Joe. Dude, I feel like I've never had a Lugia player forget to bump my Pokestop, bro. Like, ever. Like, that's like, how, I see people do it all the time on stream, but no one ever forgets my Pokestop, bro. All right, quick ball for the Greninja here from Joe. A little bit more draw power on the board. Plenty of energy left in the deck, of course. And I don't know. We'll see what these next 3 are. Probably should go with the research here. Probably going to chair him to the active and then research. Losing the Serena doesn't feel great because that could be your way to chase this Lugia down. But with how few attacking options Stefan has left, I don't think it's going to matter to have to chase this down, to be honest. I don't see the Twin Energy. Oh, no. But we do have a Trek and Shoes and a Level Ball for the Puke. And like I said, I'm assuming there's 4 Twin Energy in this deck for Joe. Joe could also get Double Grass. Has 1 Grass in hand, I believe. And could use Greninja if they don't see another Grass before they're out of Drawsa power. They could use Greninja to draw a little bit deeper and try and get the Twin, possibly. Yeah, so Puke should be coming up here next. Puke up next, and then the Trek and Shoes. Puke for 1 into Drapion. Okay, Trek and Shoes. Definitely should go into Trek and Shoes next. All right, Trek and Shoes. I can't tell what it is. Leak, Joe, leak. Is it a grass? Okay, so double grass. Got double grass on Snorlax. Have another Snorlax to put on the bench as well. And it looks like it plays Scoop Up Net as well, which is interesting. I think that's another Snorlax. It's thinking about using the Scoop Up Net, it almost seems like. But I don't know what you'd Scoop Up Net. I don't know what you'd Scoop Up Net. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else to do here from Joe, just to attack. And just the only play from here is just to attack, so. Punch. Keeps looking at the hand like there's something to do. He's thinking about the scoop up net, but what are you scoop up netting here? Okay, just burning the card. Okay, I don't hate that. I was like, what is going on here? But just burning the card to like get rid of it. Yeah, I guess there's nothing really else to try and keep it around for utility. I guess you could like double Greninja. You could double Greninja at some point. That would be the only reason to keep the scoop net around. But I think I agree with Joe on that one. Yeah, burn the scoop up net. You don't really need it. All right, over to Stefan. Does Stefan even have another attacker? I'm not sure. Has a double turbo in the hand. I believe has another energy in the deck. Maybe 2 energy. Could attack with Stoutland here. The choice belt is on the active Snorlax, which is actually good for Stefan, because then the Snorlax wouldn't be able to follow up and KO the Stoutland. If the Stoutland could even do the big... Oh, no, it actually would, because for Stoutland to get a knockout, you'd have to use its big attack, which is no good. Yeah, Stefan really needed to bench his Lugia like forever ago, so it could become a V-Star. And I'm pretty sure there's another V-Star in the deck. Yep, there it is. No. Wait, is there not? I swear there was another V-Star in the deck. Oh, no, that is a V-Star. I was right. Definitely a mistake there from Stefan to not set up the Lugia V-Star. And like I said, that wants to be your main attacker in this matchup. And did have enough energy to attack with another Lugia V-Star as well. This game definitely could have gone the other way possibly if Stefan had just set up. Well, if Stefan had boss KO'd Cherim, would have been step 1. Step 2 would have been set up second Lugia V-Star. Instead, we're swinging with Stoutland. But yeah, Stoutland does 30 damage to itself. So you don't need the... If Stoutland's using its secondary attack... It will KO the Snorlax, but it'll also do 30 damage to itself. So we won't need a choice belt here from Joe. And not many people actually know what the second attack does. I believe it's 190 and then 30 to itself, which perfectly lines it up for the Snorlax match. So Joe just needs to draw into a way to attack with Snorlax, which I think Joe's got a lot of those left. And there's a Grass Energy top deck. So we got the Clara, Grass, Triple Grass, and the KO. And that's it. We're moving on to game 2. Joe with a pretty convincing dub in that first one. Definitely an interesting situation in the middle of the game where both players made some mistakes that could have led to what. And another no Lugia V start from Stefan. Goes a Stoutland attached pass. I don't actually still like this. I actually want to see if we can get a look at Stefan's hand, though. We might not get that here. I don't think we're going to get that. Got a little bit of it. Not much. Stoutland attached pass is not very good, but I don't even know if I like the Stoutland being benched. It's such a, now, especially because you know Joe plays choice belt. Like, yeah, because now that you know that Joe plays choice belt and can one-hit KO your Stoutland, I just wouldn't bench Stoutland there at all. I think, and I would just go attach to Charizard, maybe pass, or just don't attach at all, pass. Greninja search out of here for Joe. Definitely not attacking turn 1, so not too concerned with that. Just wants to get an energy on a Snorlax is important. Probably ideally a twin, but you would settle. A Grass wouldn't be bad either, to be honest. You just want an energy on a Snorlax, and then also bench a Cherubi. And because the Lugia was whiffed here on turn 1, you don't really need to like aggressively search out Manaphy or anything like that as well here from Joe. Like you don't have to be like concerned with that. There we go. Does have a twin, but it's going to the active. I guess that's fine though, because there's no. Yeah, and then the choice belt as well. May as well throw it down. Actually, why did Joe quick ball the Grass Energy? Why did Joe quick ball the Grass Energy? We definitely could have quick balled something else, and then drawn some cards with Greninja with that Grass Energy. There was better cards to quick ball, that is for sure. Actually, Joe had a pretty clean play. Joe could have gone quick ball the switch card, attach the twin, attach the choice belt, use Greninja, net reset Greninja, use Serena, or if you draw a Research or a Marnie, you could use that instead. Probably don't want a Marnie when Stefan whiffed turn 1 Lugia V, but then you could go with the Serena from that or the Research. So definitely another mistake here from Joe, missequence. Because I think now Joe's about to like use, actually, if Joe switch cards switch card into the Greninja. Is Joe about to learn? Okay, no. Is Joe about to learn that you can't Serena with a 0-card hand? But this is... Why do you want this Greninja in your active? I don't like this play at all from Joe. You know you can't get attacked next turn. You're not trying to protect the Snorlax at this point. Yeah, not a big fan of this play from Joe at all. I think we should definitely try and get some value out of this training court, though. I think we should see the Greninja get used, and then the training court get used as well. So here we go. Draw 2. Was that 3? No, it's 2. Yeah, I would love to see the training court hit the field. This is definitely the time to use it. There's no Lugia attacking next turn. You can get a lot of value out of the training court dependency over these next 2 turns. Sure, Stefan could have Vacuum or Collapse Stadium and play it, but yeah, like I said, the best stadium out that these Lugia decks have these days is... Oh no, is the hand completely dead here from Stefan? The best out they have these days is Pumpkaboo, and you don't really care if they're going to use up a bench space for Pumpkaboo. I think it's worth the trade-off of putting your training card in play. Attach to Stoutland Pass. All right, so terrible start, terrible follow-up, and looks like a turn 2 attack here from Joe. Has the energy for the Snorlax, has the training court to get an energy out of the discard pile to put on the Greninja, and could play Research, could also save it, not Research, to play Clara on the following turn. I don't hate that. Is actually going with the Greninja play, I think, to try and draw a Gust effect here. I feel like that's like a little bit unnecessary here from Joe, because you still need to find a way to retreat. You'd have to find, and now draws into their second training court and now getting punished for not just playing there. I think you should just play Research there. You're in such a huge advantage here. Play Research, find some more Snorlaxes, continue to set up. And now you can punish her. You play this Research, you lose training court, you lost another energy. Like, yeah. I mean, you'd love to see the punish, though. I guess you'd love to see the punish. I don't love to see it there, though. That felt like a pretty straightforward line. You can just, like, you know, just get aggressive. Just play the game. Got a Quick Ball here. Probably want to keep the other Quick Ball around. I wouldn't hate to see Quick Ball Grass, but you could probably give it to Cherubi here and send that away. There we go. Snorlax. And then, yeah, Training Court can recover an energy. No problem. There is another one in hand, so Joe will be able to retreat the Greninja for sure. And get the knockout on this Charizard. Could even maybe use the other Snorlax. No, but has another Choice Belt, so we'll have the answer to the Stoutland. Actually, no, if the Stoutland wants to attack next turn, it's got to use its big attacks. So it doesn't even matter. There's the Training Court. Energy. Charm the energy onto the Greninja. And one onto the Snorlax. And then we'll be able to go ahead and swing. And has a Twin in hand for the next turn. Actually, I think could attach the Twin this turn, right? Am I tripping on that? Am I trolling? Because Joe didn't attach for turn yet. They've all been through Cherum. So you can actually attach that Twin Energy to the Snorlax, which I think there's no reason for Joe not to attach the Twin Energy to Snorlax. He means that we'll have more Snorlax set up. Once again, the Snorlax is awake. So Stefan can't do the draw, good old draw pass. Instead, top decks of Research. It does have double Archeops in the hand, but also has a lot of energy. So we'll get off an attack finally, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late here for sure. Cherum can't attach to Greninja. It has a rule box. Oh, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that. My bad. Finally see a Quick Ball here for Stefan as well. Gonna be able to set up. Actually, the Drapion is a pretty good attacker in this matchup as well, because Drapion doesn't get one-hit KO'd by Snorlax. The Drapion's actually a good attacker in this matchup. That's actually crazy. So definitely a mistake there from Stefan to discard the Drapion. Should definitely have kept Drapion around, because it's a Pokemon that can survive a hit. So should keep the Drapion. And like I said, set up Lugias. You just want to set up Lugias. You 2 for 2 back and forth. Drapion is also a good attacker. And just like run between your 2 prize Pokemon should be the game plan here from Stefan. But you're so far behind at this point, and you're about to swing with a Stoutland that's about to get knocked out. So I don't know if it's going to matter too much in the end here, to be honest. But we'll see. Birdkeeper was grabbed there from Joe off the prize cards as well. So Joe's got a draw supporter to work with. He's going to keep setting up these Laxes. And probably keep taking over this game. They've been in a pretty good spot so far. Ooh, there's a vacuum there from Stefan, so could get rid of the Training Court, which I think you might as well. You want to slow down Joe as much as possible. And keep leaving Training Court for them might be the difference maker. So I would definitely get rid of the Training Court here. Does get rid of it. And who knows? Maybe a Snorlax doesn't attack this turn here for Joe. It's possible. Sends up the Snorlax. Did have the Birdkeeper in hand, though, I thought. Oh, but does also have a Twin Energy. No, but had the Birdkeeper. But I guess maybe you're just playing Research here anyways, to be honest, as Joe. Choice Belt down to the Cherum. Sure, I guess it doesn't matter too much. I think we'll just probably see the Research pitch it all. Just draw 7 new cards here for Joe. Actually curious to not see anything like I guess you don't really want to play any like pivot. You don't want to play any switch. Well, you do play switch cards. Just curious to like not see like Mew in this deck at all. Not a great draw there from Joe. No Snorlax. Needs to find some Snorlax soon. This next one's probably going to go down next turn. I'm going to need another Snorlax from Joe here coming up. Drapion gets one shot by Beltlax. Am I on crack? What does 210 though? Doesn't Drapion have 220? Oh, it has 210? Since when does Drapion have 210? Oh, what the heck? All right, my bad. Dude, why did I think that thing had 220? I thought it had 220. I never even considered the fact that it has 210 HP. Serena off the top. I don't think you want that, though. I think you want to dig deeper for some more Snorlax. It is a Gust effect, though. I wonder if that's ever worth keeping around. I don't know how many Serena got left here for Joe. Like I said, though, we got to find some Snorlax. We do have the Clara in hand, though, so maybe you didn't need to find them this turn, to be honest. It's possible we could have been fine without it. Can still Greninja as well, so we could see that happen. Just draw 2 cards with the Greninja. Wouldn't hate it. Let's see. Joe's thinking about it. Nope, have not used the Greninja. Okay, Greninja for 2. Are there any Snorlaxes to be had? That's another Trek and Shoes. Another Twin Energy as well. Another Trek and Shoes. Okay, Trek and Shoes again. And Cherubi. And switch cards. So no Snorlax. Saw a lot of cards there. Joe saw a lot. No Quick Ball, no Snorlax. And gonna have to be fine with that. Second Cherubi coming down. I don't know if I like that. I feel like being able to bench like 3 Snorlaxes would be pretty nice, but maybe that's like not gonna happen often enough. Gonna go ahead and think about setting up a pivot here. It seems like you should. There is a switch card in hand though, so maybe you just wait. But if you get Marnied here, you're gonna wish you had a pivot set up, to be honest. And there's the swing from Snorlax. 2 prize cards. Gonna get the Ordinary Rod and another Snorlax. So. And there's no Marnie in the hand here for Stefan either. So, and Joe wakes up again. Joe's Snorlaxes stay awake. Not that it really matters too much in this game, to be honest. I don't think it actually matters too much. But it is kind of funny. All right, the Archeops are online. I don't think bossing here makes sense. I think you just want to go through the active Snorlax here of Joe. Go through Joe's active Snorlax and like, just hope that Joe whiffs. To be honest, just hope. Yeah, you're in the hope Joe whiffs scenario now. Loading up our Lug. There might be a double turbo in hand here for Stefan. Yeah. Definitely needs to try and find another Lugia V though. I keep mentioning it, but Lugia V is definitely the attacker in this scenario. Second Archeops coming out here. Deck seems pretty good. No, the deck's not good. The Snorlax Cherrim deck is not good. It's funny. It's cool. It's hyped that Joe made day 2. But the deck is not good, unfortunately. All right, Archeops is getting loaded up. Needs too powerful to KO Snorlax, so a little bit away, but... And double turbo in hand for Stefan, so still has its attack with Lugia despite not loading it up yet. All right, knocked out, but we do have the... Joe's hand is actually just pretty good to recover from this. He's got a Snorlax in the hand, got the Ordinary Rod, and has a Clara as well. And I think maybe that's a third Twin Energy. No, it was a Research that was top deck. I don't know why I thought that was a Twin. Yeah, so Clara is definitely on the way here for Joe. Going to get a couple Lax, and probably we'll see the Ordinary Rod come down as well, just to be as set up as possible. Going to set up the second Cherrim to play around any shenanigans, potentially. Grass, Lax, Cherrim. Yeah, where these Snorlaxes are about to get loaded up. Here we go. And yeah, I'd say probably the Ordinary Rod's going to make its way down as well, but we'll see about that. Oh, wait, what is happening? Oh, we're attacking with the... Oh, I didn't know we were attacking with the Cherrim the whole time. Okay, this is actually different. What does it do? Appreciate the 25-month resub there, Stefan. So we can conserve a Snorlax by attacking with a Cherrim here. The question is, of course, what the heck does Cherrim's attack do? I think it's 70 damage. So I think we're hitting for 100 here. Yeah, I think we're hitting for 100 here. Yeah, hits for 100 damage here with the Choice Belt. So I do like this play here from Joe. I do like this play. I do like the punch with Cherrim play here. Definitely a cool one because it will set up a 2-hit KO for the Snorlax. So yeah, another another level was added to the Snorlax deck. I'm not sure I like the double grass on the bench Snorlax. That's a pretty good target. I don't like the double grass on the bench Snorlax, though. That's like a really good target for Stefan this turn to take out. Just ignore the Cherim. It doesn't 2-hit KO your Lugia. Oh, got the quick ball now. Go get another Lugia, or could go get themselves a go get another Lugia, or you could go grab yourself a Lumineon for potentially a draw supporter. But you have boss this turn, so you could also just like, nah, you probably should go get another Lugia here and then boss KO the. I think you go boss KO that. You also just don't want to put Lumineon in play. It's another 2 prize cards for just a Gust, which means you just don't really want to put it in play, depending on how the game develops. I guess your Lugia is already that at this point, though. So, thinking about going to Marnie. I don't like this play at all. I would definitely just grab a Lugia. Gonna go with the research. The boss on that Snorlax on the bench seems pretty good, to be honest. Like, that's a lot invested to that bench Snorlax. I mean, I think Joe would probably be able to put an attack together on the following turn, but I do like the Gust on the Snorlax this turn for sure. I also dislike the lack of another Lugia in the field as well, which I don't think there's anything Stefan could have done about that. Oh, but I guess you could attack with Lumineon and KO the active as well. So maybe this is better from what from Stefan, to be honest. I forgot that we could do that, to be honest. You can go attack with Lumineon here, knock it out, send up a 1 prize Pokemon, research, bench a fresh Lugia, send up that Lugia next turn. Ugh. Yeah, no, you could even send up a Lugia V and have it just take a hit, to be honest, and then go to you could get 2 Lugia Vs in play this turn. But instead, Stefan doesn't see. Well, also Stefan discarded an energy there, didn't they? No, they attached it to the Archeops. Also, they benched the Raikou. They definitely shouldn't have benched Raikou here. I don't think Raikou's ever doing anything. Ever. We do have the 3 Aurora energy for it, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. Yeah, I don't know how much energy Stefan has left, but you could bench double Lugias here. Lumineon into... Oh, we benched the Raikou because that's what Stefan plans to run into, actually. That's why we benched the Raikou. Stefan doesn't plan to attack with Raikou. Stefan's going to run to the Raikou here. So if you bench double Lugias this turn, which you can't do anymore because your bench is full, you could have gone run to a Lugia. They hit that Lugia. You run to the other Lugia, evolve that to a Lugia V-Star, attack with that Lugia for 2 turns, and then maybe Joe whiffs in that sequence and you can get ahead, but I doubt Joe was whiffing at this point. Joe's deck's pretty thin, and I think has basically everything they need to close this game out. So, but yeah, like running to a 1 prize here just isn't that good from Stefan. Also, Stefan benches Manaphy instead of benching another Lugia V to set up an attacker that can't be KO'd. So I don't like this play at all from Stefan. Manaphy's coming up. Okay, sure. But now Joe just needs to go knock out Manaphy and then Gust KO the Lugia to win the game. And also, actually, Joe could attack with Joe could attack with Cherim again, to be honest. Joe could attack with Cherim. They could do it. I don't know if you want to lose the Cherim over that, though, to be honest. So it goes with the Snorlax. Gets another Snorlax. Can't complain too much, to be honest. The Snorlaxes are good, so. It looks like a judge asked how many cards are left in the deck. I don't know if Stefan asked or if a judge asked. It looked like a judge asked. Snorlax coming down with the Twin. That makes sense. You're trying to be as efficient as possible. Putting the Twin on energy on the active is not very efficient, and there's a decent amount of energy left here for Joe, I think. There we go. Fresh 7 coming, and probably enough cards left in the deck to win the game, I would assume. Couple grass. Got the puke. Got a trekking shoes. It's getting kind of close. There is a Serena in the hand, so I think you just want to kind of thin out the deck here as Joe. As long as it's like, as long as you can thin it out. There's like not that many cards left in the deck, so. Puke first, another grass. I'd like to see the trekking shoes get played here, I think. It always feels like it's just correct to play the shoes if you have the shoes. I think Joe's maybe a little bit worried about getting stuck in the active here. I think Joe's maybe a little bit worried about that. Like, now if the Cherim gets bossed, could it get stuck? I guess. About to rip the Drapion off the prize cards. Not something you're really looking for in this matchup or the scenario, but Snorlax is still asleep. Here comes Archeops. Joe does have 2 prize cards left, but does have a Serena in hand. So if Stefan doesn't find a way to disrupt Joe's hand this turn, and even if they do, it's possible Joe still draws into a Serena. And it's looking like Joe's going to walk away with this one. We'll see. Imagine showing up to a day 2 of a regionals just to lose to Show up to day 2 of a regionals just to lose to Cherim, man. That's rough. All right, what's Stefan going to load up here? There's nothing really to load up, to be honest. Once again, I've been saying Stefan needs to get a second Lugia V-Star setup, something that can't get 1-KO'd by a Snorlax. So far, Stefan has chosen to not do that. And once again, could do it. Literally just discarded a Lugia V-Star. And could have gotten a Lugia V with this Ultra Ball. And then look to load up a Lugia V-Star. I don't know how many energy they have left, but they do have 1 prize. And they had the 3 Aurora in the deck. So that could have been 3 Aurora onto the Lugia V and then hope to get the capture out of the prize cards. But the Raikou's not going to cut it if Joe just has back-to-back Snorlax attacks. Like if Joe just attacks back-to-back with Snorlax, you just go knock out Archeops, knock out Raikou, and the game's over. So like Raikou, I don't think is ever really doing anything of much value unless a Snorlax gets stuck. No, even if it gets stuck asleep, it's never doing anything. Yeah, it's never doing anything. All right, Chops is swinging. Goodbye. New Lax and Serena onto the Lugia. And that's it. 2-0 for Joe Yeats over Stefan with the Lugia in round 11. I don't have too much to say about this one. Definitely some mistakes on both sides. Stefan never really executed a reasonable game plan for the matchup or never attempted to, so definitely had no clue how to play the matchup. There's a big blunder in game 1 on both sides that got punished. Joe made the blunder. Stefan had the punish. Stefan chose not to punish. And then Joe capitalized. So 2-0 for Joe in the Snorlax Cherim versus Lugia matchup. It's wild. Yo, what's up, Shadowclaw? Is this the round right here? No. That is a good question. Good question, Mello. Who would go to a regionals and not test that matchup? I'm gonna go back a little bit. A little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. All right, we did it. All right. We got round 12. We got Sen with the Reggies and Alberto with a very turbo Lost Box build. Very, very turbo Lost Box build. So we do have Sen going first. I believe Alberto called it turn 1 Mirage Gate Lost Box. So it's a Kyogre build that also plays Raikou. And it also plays Dragonite V. It does not play Cramorant, and the other attackers are 2 Sableye. So the point of the deck is to just mill through your deck. It plays like 8 switch cards. So you're trying to like go through your deck as fast as possible, or about that. Turn 1 Mirage Gate potentially, and just kind of take over the game from there. So I'm sure Alberto would be fine with going like turn 1 Raikou in this game. It would be reasonable, you know, force Sen to have like the turn 2 double Aurora energy. Then going first here, using the capture energy. It does have a Lecky and a Rock prized. And this matchup for Sen's going to be pretty straightforward. Just, you know, attack with Reggies. And go from there. Yeah, the plan will be to attack with Reggies over and over again. Try and use Marty. Try and find paths to the peak. Gets good Lecky off the rip. I actually don't like this. You want to go. Actually, I didn't see a bad Lecky in the deck from Sen, but they do play the. It's possible they don't play a bad Lecky, to be honest. But they probably do. They're trying to figure out what to Ultra Ball here. I would almost keep the capture, because then you could just attack with Gigas next turn, to be honest. If you just keep the capture here, there's a good chance you can just attack with Gigas. Possibly. You do want to thin out the hand pretty aggressively here, though, because you don't actually have a draw supporter. So actually, to be honest, the more that I'm thinking about it, I would probably give up both energies, attach Choice Belt, net reset the Lecky, and then draw 4 cards. Because you want to be aggressive. You want to get the first prize card. You want to put the pressure on. You also want to find a path turn 1 here as well from Sen. Finding a path turn 1 is like super, super good. So I would actually like fully play out that hand from Sen. So Ultra Ball away. I guess you keep the Ordinary Rod as the last card. Maybe you keep the Capture over the Ordinary Rod. That'd be like reasonable. But I'd burn the net. Ultra Ball away probably the Rod and the Twin. Ultra Ball away, Rod, Twin, burn the net, hold the Capture. See, only drawing 1 here is so bad. Like, this is actually so bad from Sen. You don't have anything. It's not like you have a research in hand. From Sen here, it's not like you have a research in hand. It's like, I like my options. I have a Marnie for next turn. I'd rather put these cards back on the bottom of the deck. Sen has nothing. Sen has a Rod, a Capture, and a Scoop Up Net. And could burn the net, could have attached the Choice Belt, burned one of the other cards that can't move out of the hand with the Ultra Ball, and then draw 3 cards. Instead, we're deciding to draw 1 card. And then who knows, next turn we could possibly draw another 3 cards, but now we're down -2 cards. Like, we're seeing -2 cards guaranteed. Sen is seeing -2 cards guaranteed. So it's a really bad play here from Sen, this sequence here, to settle for drawing 1 card. It's really bad. Really, really, really bad. Could have drawn 3, chose to draw 1, -2, over to Alberto. Let's see if Alberto punishes with an aggressive start. I would like to see Alberto pull off a turn 1 Raikou, to be honest. Turn 1 Raikou, I guess turn 1 Dragonite's better, actually, though, to be honest. So turn 1 Dragonite. Has the Sealstone, has the VIP Pass, has the Pokestop, has double Scoop Up Net, so it's already looking really, really good for Alberto. You might want to start with Greninja here, though, because there's some other Pokemon you want. So I think I would start with the Greninja here. I also don't like the Good Lucky Take from Sen. I think you just go, well, maybe you want to force the Manaphy from Alberto first and then go into Bad Lucky. I guess that's fine. Yeah, Greninja first, I like it. We want to find more Comfies, or just Pokemon in general. Got a Comfy, that's sick. Now the Battle VIP Pass comes out, and I think we'll see Alberto go for the Dragonite here. Doing a little prize checking. The Kyogre's prize, the Raikou's prize, nothing too big. And on Sen's side, either nothing really too big prize for Sen. Yeah, and just past just drawing more cards, like getting Path to, like a card that Sen wants to see turn 1 here is Path to the Peak. Especially because, like, you know that Alberto's playing a Greninja deck. Like, being able to use Greninja turn 1 or not being able to use Greninja turn 1, there's a pretty big difference. So, I'm definitely not a huge fan of that from Sen. Yeah, that sequence there was pretty poor. No energy prize here for Alberto. Probably going to grab Comfy plus Dragonite, I would assume. Like I said, the Raikou is also seems like a pretty solid option turn 1. Because, like, even though Raikou can get 1-hit KO'd, there was no energy in the discard, no Auroras in the discard pile turn 1 from Sen. So the Raikou is also a little bit easier to set up as well. You probably prefer to attack with Dragonite if you can get a turn 1, but a little bit easier to pull it off with the Raikou. See what else Alberto can pull off here. We're going to get going here. Got the net on the Greninja, so then we can get into... Okay, there we go. Net on Greninja. Get into the Comfy. Here comes Comfy number 1. How good is it? Lightning to the discard pile. Not sure what Alberto took. Lightning's pretty good here. Energy's pretty good here, though. You need to set up your Dragonite, even using Greninja again. There's a water in the hand, though. Here we go, Comfy again. Minion bites the dust. That would be an out to Colress, so that makes me think, yep, there's probably a Colress on that take here. The gate's in the hand. I think there was a lightning in the hand as well. Escape rope. So you probably want escape rope and gate. Sableye, not as important. So escape rope, gate, and maybe what that other card is. Yeah, gets rid of the lightning and the Sableye. That's what I would do too. Goodbye. And I don't know what that third card was, though, but they eyed up that one first. It was a switch card. Okay, so yeah, more switch cards equals more Comfies equals better pizza. So we got 4 in the Lasso. Now we need to find 3 more here for Alberto. Has Pokestop in the hand as well, and can still draw cards with Greninja, but doesn't want to really use, and goes into the Pokestop next. Seems fine to me. Oh, does play Vacuum. So we're basically there for Alberto. I think Alberto's basically... Oh, well, Alberto is there. Alberto is there. So we've done it. You definitely want to KO the Drago, though. If you had to pick a Reggie to KO here as Alberto, it would be Drago. Doesn't love the... Apparently does not love the choices on this list, this Comfy here, though. Let's see what happens. Water versus... What was the take? I want to know what the take is. I can't see what the take is. Heavy ball. So took the heavy ball. Does have the Kyogre prize. And the Kyogre's in the last 2 prize cards. So definitely need to get that out of there. But yeah, has the vacuum. So now we can see the vac. Lost zone something. Get rid of your own stadium. That's 7. Then we hit him with the... then you hit him with the Mirage Gate. There we go. Gets rid of the escape rope. Gets rid of that. There we go. 7 in the lost zone. And here we go. Here comes the gate. And has the water in hand for the attachment. Hasn't attached yet. And has the switch card. So we'll be able to take out the active Regidrago from Sen. There we go. There's 2. Water in hand. That's 7. And the switch card. These Comfies are going to start to get a little beat up by the Dragonite. But there's still a couple scoop up sets left for Alberto, I believe. There it is. Could play the heavy ball this turn as well. I don't see a reason not to. I'm actually curious why Alberto wouldn't play the heavy ball this turn. You can confirm all 6 prize cards. And probably have more outs of the Kyogre. There's Manaphy and Greninja back to the bench as well. Great sequencing so far as well from Alberto. Has the Seal Stone as well to just chill. Goes for the swing. Doesn't play the heavy ball. I'm not sure I agree with that. Because you're going to have more outs to the Kyogre. Like, heavy ball, you know you prized. You don't ever want to put Raikou in play. Once the Dragonite goes down, you don't want to put Raikou in play. You know Kyogre's prized, and it's the only thing you want off of the heavy ball. So if you have the Kyogre in the deck, Kyogre's equal to heavy ball. I guess that's not 100% true, because you can Pokestop later into heavy ball, because Alberto does play 2 Pokestop to then get the Kyogre, but then all of your quick balls can't find Kyogre, and you have more quick balls than you have Pokestops, and Pokestop can find quick ball, which could find Kyogre. So yeah, a mistake from Alberto to not use the heavy ball there. And even has a quick ball in hand. And if they know there's 2 quick ball prize, and they know as they draw prize cards, they'll draw quick balls, which means more outs to Kyogre. So should have played the heavy ball. I think that's the only mistake there from Alberto. But gets a knockout. Capture Energy coming in from Sen. And then we'll probably have to just go with a Regigate. I don't know if they have another... we'll see if they have another... Or if they top deck a draw supporter. Nope. No draw supporter top deck. So capture out a Drago. And then... Gonna go ahead and Regigate. And this is... I'm actually curious. I would like to see the next 2 cards from Sen's deck. I want to see like the top 2 cards of Sen's deck. Because they could have drawn +2 cards. I always want to know if it actually is... if it is the card. Appreciate the 36 months there, Fred. Regigate gets the ice. So we're getting close for Sen to be able to pull off an attack with the Gigas. But still a little ways away. Yeah, the Gigas is getting close. And now, yeah, Alberto has to be a little bit careful of their own bench here, to be honest. Really nothing in the hand here for Alberto. So I think it's going to be... Hopefully the heavy ball comes down now. Maybe. There's the V-Star power. Probably should go to Colress and just keep going through the deck here. We'll see what they grab, though. I'm definitely curious to find out what they get. I would assume it's just going to be a Colress and just keep going a little bit deeper. Start setting up. And also against Reggie decks right now, it's pretty reliable to assume that the Reggie players don't have... it's pretty reliable to assume that the Reggie decks don't have any boss anymore. I feel like no one plays boss anymore. Not 100%, but I feel like it's pretty close to no boss. So I don't hate, like, once again, I want to see the heavy ball get played from Alberto. And I would actually like to see Alberto probably bench the Kyogre. I guess you could bench the Sableye instead, though. I wouldn't hate to see Sableye hit the bench here instead of the Kyogre. But I would like to see the heavy ball get played. I'm still team heavy ball, team play heavy ball, I think, for sure. But Alberto's like a fan of keeping it around. I guess there is the value of keeping it around is that it's more efficient than quick ball to get the Kyogre out of your prize cards late game, I guess. But I think you may as well just play it now. Figure out your prize cards. I would even, like I said, you could even put it on the bench here. I probably would put this. I like the Sableye down there now, especially with the Good Lucky in play. Especially with Good Lucky in play here from Sen, it doesn't give Sableye a target to get a prize card off of. So here we go. Ultra Ball. Aurora plus Gigas gets the rock. Now needs to find the steel here from Sen. We'll be able to draw a couple cards off of this. Should recover the steel here from Sen. The steel and the Drago should be the 2 recoveries, I think. Unless you plan to attack with Gigas, then I could see the argument for Gigas steel. You definitely recover steel. The question is, what other one do you recover? And there could be an argument to not recover any other to increase your odds of seeing the steel. But I think that's probably incorrect in the... Like, overall, that's going to hurt your chance to win the game. Because you need more than just... You need more Reggies, so... There's a shuffle up. And I would like to see the net... I would like to see the net get played here from Sen. And burn the card to draw the extra card. Because I don't think we need the net for anything. I don't know why we're saving the net. Did get the research, though. And now could net into the Gigas, and then the Gigas is probably the best attacker here. Actually, that's not true. Regice is the best attacker here. I take that back. Regice is the best attacker here for Sen. Has the speed and is going to go with it. To draw 2. I don't know if I like it, though, because now you can't play the Aurora energy. But it's just settling for the Gigas attack. I don't know if I like that. Letting Dragonite attack one more time seems really, really bad here from Sen. You almost want the Giganite, the Dragonite. I tried to say Gigas and Dragonite in the same at the same time there. You almost want the Dragonite to just attack twice more from Alberto, because then it just like wipes his bench. The Aurora is in the discard pile. There is a net in hand, so actually Sen could attack with Regice here. Yeah, Sen could actually get the attack off with Regice here, which you want to go for. You want to like force Alberto to like play the game more, like by going and getting go get like more stuff. So I would like to actually see that happen. I would like to see Alberto or Sen go into the Regice here and actually attack with Regice, because then the Dragonite can't attack next turn. So then you force Alberto to have switch cards or something. And if they don't, maybe you actually can get into a position where you can actually get ahead here as Sen. We'll see though. Might just settle for the Gigas play. Setting up all the energy here. So I think plans to use the scoop up net on the Gigas. So we're going to see the first 3 come down here. Like I said, Regice is the optimal target. Has the path as well, which is nice to see. And there we go. Load up on the Regice. All right. So far, it's been pretty clean from Sen after kind of that poor sequence off the rip from Sen. Like the first sequence from Sen was pretty poor on that first turn. But now it's getting, Sen's cleaning it up a little bit. Has the path in hand. Has these 3 energy for the Gigas. I like this. Now we're feeling pretty good here. And there we go. 100 damage to Dragonite. And don't forget the path. All right, we're good. 100 damage. Can't attack next turn. Does Alberto have the switch cards? Find out. A little bit of a check here from Alberto. He's a speed and a cap. Checking the net count as well. I think we're just attacking it with Dragonite here as Alberto, if it's possible. Did top deck an escape rope. I don't know. They have a pretty big hand. I don't know if they needed that, but they did top deck an escape rope. Originally in thought. We could have went into Regice originally, though, and saved a net. Well, there wasn't 2 Aurora in the discard pile before they researched. So they netted before they researched, and then they check and choose away in Aurora. So they wouldn't have guaranteed being able to do the Regice. They didn't have double Aurora in the discard pile yet. But I still think they maybe should have net into Regice initially anyways, and just like hope they drew into the Aurora to force that play, to be honest. So I'm still not against that play, to be honest. Escape route from Alberto. Sends up the Lecky, which I do like. This does take away the possibility of Sableye drawing this as a prize card later, but actually now I think Alberto might as well use Sableye this turn. I think Alberto should probably just attack with Sableye this turn. I don't see a reason not to here from Alberto. We'll see what Alberto chooses to do, but I think you might as well, to be honest. Cleaning up some of this Dragonite damage that's been built up. It probably wouldn't have mattered anyways, I don't think, in this scenario, or the way this matchup is playing, but it could have. It could have definitely mattered. Another Comfey going down. I think has a switch card in hand to heal up this Comfey a little bit. Does get rid of a Mirage Gate for the Psychic Energy, so I think the Sableye will be happening here. I think there's like 11 in the Lost Zone right now for Alberto. So Sableye going to be taking the knockout on this Lucky. I like this play from Alberto. I still think I want to see the Heavy Ball get played now for sure, because you have the bench space. So I would like to see Alberto go Heavy Ball for Kyogre, bench Kyogre. I want to see Kyogre hit the bench. Like, you can bench Kyogre so aggressively in this matchup because it just doesn't matter. Like, they maybe play one boss and they have to find it. And even if they boss it, you have like rods, and that means they're not knocking out your attacker. So I'm begging Alberto to play the Heavy Ball now. I'm begging Alberto to play the Heavy Ball. That's all I want. That's all I want. And bench the Kyogre as well. No! I mean, I don't hate the second Comfey down. It depends how many switch card Alberto has left. I just want Kyogre to get into play here. I really just want the Heavy Ball to be played. Yeah, I bench Kyogre like almost as soon as I have a bench space available in this matchup. I'm always benching Kyogre like immediately. Another thing about this matchup actually that goes in favor of Sen based on Alberto's list is Alberto does not play any Guru. So the Marnies from Sen in the early game specifically hit a little bit harder. He might just be ignoring Kyogre this game since he's so far ahead, but there's no reason to ignore it, right? You may as well have it as an option. That makes no sense. I do think Alberto's in a very good spot. But I still feel like benching Kyogre there makes the most sense. I'm still a bench Kyogre fan there now, this turn. See, Sen doesn't hesitate with that heavy ball. I like Sen. Sen just plays the heavy ball. I like Sen with this one. I like Sen. I like how Sen plays heavy ball. See heavy ball, play heavy ball. Now, that's not always correct. Sometimes you actually do want to save heavy ball, because if it's your only out to find the Pokemon, then having it be an item instead of a Pokemon sometimes is a little bit better with stuff like Pokestop. But yeah, no bad Lecky here either for Sen. So I don't want Sen to actually bench the Lecky this turn unless Sen really wants to use Regigigas. But yeah, I like this better from Sen because you want to ideally use, and has the cape now too, so you could actually put the cape on the good Lecky at this point. So I think from Alberto, we'll probably see the attack with Dragonite. Yeah, I can't imagine we're not using the attack with Dragonite here. We'll see, though. Culver's top deck, that's pretty good. So Alberto's going to pretty much completely thin out the deck at this point. There's not much left. Net's good. Double? There's two? Okay, there's two. That's a lot. 2 4 Seal Stones. This really is an aggressive build of Lost Box. Very cool, though. Gets rid of an escape rope. Keeps the switch cart. Love to see it. Has a lot of options in hand. Could use another Comfey if they really want to. I'm sure it probably wants to... Actually, I don't know what you want to attack with here as Alberto. What are you going down? You're going down to 2 prize cards. Going down to 2 prize cards. You know what draws 2 prize cards on the turn that you have 2 prize cards? The Kyogre. But unfortunately, it's in the prize cards. And our heavy ball's on the bottom of the deck. So that's unlucky. But if we find it, and I think that is what Alberto's playing towards here, is like, okay, I have my Pokestop left in my deck, so if I can just leave it as a heavy ball, then I can like Pokestop into the heavy ball to get the Kyogre, which is fair. I don't think that's like a terrible reason to keep it. I definitely would play it. And actually on that last turn, I think, like I said, I would have benched the Kyogre as well. Quick balls and vacuum. Yeah, like almost no cards left in the deck here for Alberto. So this would be I'm not gonna lie, this is actually just like a perfect turn to bench. This is like a perfect turn to bench Kyogre and put an energy on it. Like, you're going into it to be the closer on the next turn. If Sen has a Marnie here, could mess things up. Triple Comfey in play now for Alberto. Gift for 1 from Sen. Could Sen have actually played more cards out of the last hand? Could Sen have played more cards out of the last hand to actually have drawn more? There's no Marnie in the hand here for Sen, so... I think Alberto's going to still pretty cleanly be able to get this dub. I think Alberto's going to be pretty... I think Alberto's going to be able to pretty cleanly get this dub here on this next turn, to be honest. Should be able to get into the heavy ball. There's no Marnie, like I said, so we'll get the heavy ball, and then has double Ordinary Rod plus Recycler left. So pretty easy dub coming up from Alberto on this next turn. Should be no problem. Sen's going to think things through. The only play I see for Sen... Actually, no, I don't see any play for Sen. I take it back. Actually, there is one play I see for Sen, but it probably shouldn't work. I could possibly see if you caped one of your bench Reggies and then scoop up netted your other 2 Reggies. No, that never works. That never works. There's no play. There's no play. Wait. No. Yeah. No, you actually don't even need a cape. If Sen can actually scoop up net the Reggie Steel and the Reggie Rock... that could make things awkward enough where Alberto maybe can't win. And Sen sees the play. Okay, this could actually get cool. They did find it. They did find the other scoop up net. Okay, this is going to get interesting. The one problem with this play, though, is Alberto can potentially just go back into another Dragonite, and then the Dragonite just takes 2 more knockouts, and the game's just over. And Sen has so many prize cards left to take that, Sen has so many prize cards left to take that Alberto could even KO like 2 of their own Pokemon and still be fine. But yeah, I think Alberto can just go set up another... Yeah, Alberto didn't see this coming, but Alberto can just go set up another Dragonite here. I think it should be no problem. Has the Quick Ball in hand, has the Water in hand, just needs an Ordinary Rod. Yeah, just needs an Ordinary Rod. Shouldn't be a big deal here at all for Alberto, to be honest. I think Alberto's got this covered. I can't tell how much damage is on the bench Pokemon, though, to be honest. I'm not sure. There's some, I just don't know how much. To be honest, it was possible Alberto could have used Kyogre last turn with Dragonite on the bench set up. But then I guess you risk like your Dragonite getting Gust KO'd. So it's probably correct to have just attack with Dragonite while you could. Yeah, Alberto should have it here, though, I think. I think Alberto's got this one. Should be able to set up the Dragonite again without KOing too many Pokemon. Because I think Alberto has a net and a switch card. Well, they did actually... Alberto did use a switch card last turn, which I thought was maybe a little bit sus, and maybe should have used an Escape Rope instead. There's a Quick Ball. Is eyeing up the Raikou, actually. Okay, I don't hate that. You're not going to spread the damage onto your bench Pokemon. So you could go with Raikou here and then still get the Dragonite for the following turn. So you could still maybe use the Dragonite on the following turn. Because I think, yeah, we have at least 2 Mirage Gates left here for Alberto. I don't know how many Quick Ball Alberto has left, though. This could be Alberto's last... Also, the Raikou can't KO Regigigas. I hate the dice on the stream, to be honest, because I can't tell. I can't tell. I can't tell what has how much HP left. Because I think maybe Dragonite works here just fine with the one Scoop Up Net that Alberto has in hand. But I can't tell because I can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell because I can't see these dice. Some of them, like the Manaphy, I think has 6. But I think Alberto actually could have set up. I think Alberto could have set up. Could have like net reset the Manaphy and then actually just attacked with Dragonite and won the game. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Thinking about using Comfey. 5 cards left in deck. Needs to get the Ordinary Rod, but not the Dragonite, I think, here as Alberto. Could also just wait and then try and use the Comfeys next turn, I guess. There's an Escape Rope. Regidrago sent up here from Sen. And Raikou... Can't fleet-footed. It would have been nice, though. And Raikou here will get the knockout on this, but Raikou actually can't KO Gigas, which is, like, awkward. But I don't think that would prevent Alberto from being able to win the game. Could have vacuumed the Path to the Peak potentially there, but I don't actually know how many paths are left for... I don't know how many paths are left for Sen, so maybe it's just not worth doing it now, and you might want to vacuum next turn plus combo that with Greninja. But a Marnie here, I think, would hit pretty hard, to be honest. Yeah, Marnie here could hit pretty hard. Well, does it hit that hard, though? Because you don't even want to KO in this Raikou. No, if you could Marnie plus KO the Raikou. But I don't know how many Reggies Sen has left. There's a couple rocks, but you need a lot of everything else. There's a Quick Ball in the hand. I don't see a Marnie, though. I don't see a Marnie here for Sen. Just swinging. Okay. Well, Alberto, like I said, can't KO the Gigas, but might be able to just pull off the Dragonite play instead. And I think has the net in hand. And if as long as they have a Mirage Gate, they should be good. It's just going to go with the punch, though, so I assume still has the game in hand anyways. But could get Marnied here. You could still get Marnied here as Alberto. One thing Alberto could have done, well, yeah, because I think Sen is out of nets. Alberto could have set up, I think, maybe the Greninja and just had that sitting there waiting to snipe the Gigas once the Raikou gets knocked out. But if Sen can go Marnie plus fill the bench... No, it doesn't even need to fill the bench. If Sen just has Marnie, it could get weird for Alberto, maybe. So I don't love the way Alberto played out this... I think Alberto should have been able to set up an attacker that would be able to close out the game here. Because I'm pretty sure Sen is down 4 Scoop Up Net. So Alberto knows that as long as you have a way to KO the Gigas, you're chilling. Looks like Sen's trying to figure it out if they can set up a new attacker here. The Marnie's in the deck. There's 2 Marnie in the deck. Can we get to the Marnie, though, is the question. All right. And Sen started to play super fast, too. There's only 20 minutes left as well. And we're still in this first game. There might not be enough time for a second game, to be honest. Goes for the Drago. I think Sen knows Marnie is the answer here. And I don't think Alberto thought about Marnie enough on their previous turn. So I think it's possible the Marnie could make a difference here. If Sen can find it. Goes with a second Lecky there. Goes with second Lecky, second Ice. I mean, I guess it's fine. You already had a Lecky and an Ice in the deck, though, I think. I almost feel like Sen maybe should have just gotten one of them. Because drawing the Marnie is the most important part. Like, drawing the Marnie is, if it's even possible, to be honest. I'm looking at the hand here for Sen. I think Sen can draw 1 card. I think Sen can draw a single card. Comes the Aurora. Oh, no, just going with the Serena. Okay, so Marnie's not even a possibility here for Sen. I feel like you have to know as Sen, though. If you don't Marnie this turn, you lose the game. I feel like Sen has to know that. Maybe there was a Scoop Up Net left in the deck and could have reset the Gigas. I don't know. We'll see. Kofi goes up. And this should be game now for sure. I'm like 100% certain this is game. So actually, this is actually a very interesting situation here for Alberto. So I'm going to see how Alberto plays it out, and then I'm going to talk about it after that. So there's 17 minutes left in game. It's very important to know how much time is left in the game. Here we go. Alberto plays Ordinary Rod, gets Psychic, just puts the Psychic back, benches a Sableye, plays the Mirage Gate, puts it on the, what's it called, net. Okay, so let's talk about this right here. Okay, there's 17 minutes left in the game, which means at this point they're never finishing 3 games. So there's only 2 outcomes of this match. And I've heard people have different opinions on this, but this is how I would approach the situation as Alberto. There's 17 minutes left in this game, and I'm not saying you should slow play. I'm not telling anyone to slow play, but listen, Sen should know they're screwed here. Sen should know that they can't win this game, right? So it's on Sen to concede this match. But as Alberto, there's nothing forcing you to actually play out your actions as efficiently as possible. If I was Alberto here, I would play my Vacuum. I would use Greninja. I would use as many Comfies as possible. I would use my Recycler. I would use my Ordinary Rod. And at the end of it all, I would show Sen I have game with the Sableye. But I wouldn't do any of that until I exhausted every other possible action I could possibly exhaust before the only action that I could possibly do left would be winning the game. Because there's only 18 minutes left in the game. Why would I ever, in a matchup where game 3 is never finishing, and who knows if game 2 will finish, but if game 2 does finish and I win, I win. But if game 2 finishes and Sen wins, we tie. I don't want game 2 to finish. So you should never, like in this situation, Alberto should go through as many actions as possible. Took Heavy Ball off Colress, should play Heavy Ball. Should put the Pokestop in play. Should use the Vacuum. Should use Comfy if possible. Use the Recycler. Use the Ordinary Rod. Bench the Sableye. And then play the Gate after you've exhausted every other possible action. And it's on Sen to recognize, oh shit, this man is just burning the clock. I should concede. And then that's where you just concede as Sen. But you put it on Sen. It's the correct play for Alberto. It's optimal for Alberto to use as many actions as possible. I'm not saying to slow play. I'm not saying sit there and look at your hand for 30 seconds. I'm not saying to sit there at your hand for 30 seconds and then do an action, and then sit and look at your hands for 30 seconds, and then do an action, and then sit and look at your hand for 30 seconds, and then do an action. But you can just do all those actions. And I've done that so many times with Lost Box, because Lost Box, usually when you're about to win game 1, you're like 40 minutes into the round. So you're just like, all right, I'm just going to go through all my actions. Like I had a game, I did this with, this was a funny one. At Baltimore, when I played Mewtwo v Union, I played up against an Arceus Duraludon player, and I had game on board. No, I played up against a Mew player, and I had game on board. All I had to do was attack with Mew, because I was doing 300 damage. And I was just like, all right, I'm just going to start to play other cards. And it was like, it took them a second, and they're like, what's going on here? And then they realized, and they're like, okay, actually, I'll concede. Let's go to game. I don't know if we went to game 2 or game 3 at that point, but I was like, I want this game to take as long as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and just go through all my actions here. Like up to that point, I was attacking with Mewtwo. I was like 2 turns in a row. I was like attack with Mewtwo, and then 2 prize cards. And they went, okay, draw a pass, because I had a path on them. And then I went attack with Mewtwo, draw 2 prize cards. And like, okay, draw a pass. And then after that, I was like, okay, play Silene, play Quick Ball, play Trekking Shoes, attach energy. Once I knew I wasn't scared of anything. But yeah, that's like optimal play from the optimal play there from Alberto would be to actually do as many actions as possible. Like there's no advantage for Alberto to have this game end as soon as possible. So you may as well take the extra actions when you have them. All right, let's see. Going to game 2. It would take quite a bit for send. Ooh, okay, that's actually something though. Pepper actually did the opposite against me. I had 0 cards in deck. She played out her entire turn without realizing, and then we ended up tying. Well, no, that might actually be... Wait, in what scenario is that? I mean, I'd actually have to see the scenario of the game. Alberto lost zone from Colress. No, because yeah, there's only 3 cards left in the deck. Oh, someone else in chat already got that. You appreciate the prime sub there, Cam Yang. Okay, so actually, if Sen is gonna win this game in an aggressive manner, Alberto opening up the Luminion is pretty good for Sen. Also, the Dragonite's prize for Alberto. Alberto does play the heavy ball, but we know because of as of last game, Alberto might play the heavy ball, but doesn't like playing heavy ball. So even if they find it, who knows if they'll actually play it to find the Dragonite. We'll have to find out if Alberto finds a heavy ball. But also, Luminion can KO Regieleki. And now we see Sen be a little bit more aggressive. Well, actually, no. It didn't change from last game. Sen couldn't draw any cards this turn. Turn 1 path's pretty good is what I mean to say. The opening hand actually here from Alberto is not very good, though. Has a quick ball and a heavy ball. So you're really hoping that you have like a comfy prize here with the heavy ball, to be honest. When you look at a hand like this as Lost Box, you're like, well, I hope comfy's prized. Because, yeah. Comfy's good. And this is actually kind of going to show off the power of like a turn 1 path, especially in this matchup against Alberto specifically, because Alberto also plays the Luminion. This game, Alberto opened the Luminion. But yeah, path pretty good. Stops the Luminion potentially, and also stops and slows down Greninja, which would be a great take here from Alberto. Would be to go get the Greninja. It'd be great if Alberto could go get Greninja here and use it to draw some cards. But turn 1 path's going to end up being pretty good here. So Luminion can KO the bad Lecky and go back to the deck, but we're not going to have that happen turn 1 here, I think, for Alberto. Alberto's in a pretty bad spot. I'm sure Alberto was pretty disappointed to find out that there was no good Pokemon prized. And here is he. Does actually play the heavy ball and does get the Dragonite here. Gets the Dragonite, but not much else to cook with. So yeah, Alberto's not going to have a great turn 1 unless this flower selecting is pretty crazy. And I think Sen does have, I'm pretty sure Sen does have a research in hand and is already pretty close to being able to attack with the Lecky. So I was saying initially, this one seems like it might be tough for Sen to actually be able to close out a game in 20 minutes. Well, it wasn't even 20 minutes. Like when they started this game, they had like 16 minutes. But now it's actually not looking too bad for Sen, and it's possible to just for Alberto just to give themselves a chance here. If Sen actually attacks next turn, on turn 2, if I was Alberto, I would just concede and go to game 3. It probably won't finish because you'll have like 10 minutes by the time that happens. It probably won't finish because you'll have like 10 minutes by the time that happens, but it at least gives Alberto a chance to win game 3. It does give Sen a chance as well, but I'm sure neither of these players want to tie here. So you want to do what you think gives you the best chance to win a game when that is your goal. And I'm pretty sure the goal here for Sen is definitely to win a game. But it does look like, or for Alberto and Sen, but it does look like Sen actually whiffed the attack. Did not draw very much actually off that. Can't even retreat to the Drago to draw new cards. It does have the gift energy on the active. I'd probably burn the cape here if I was Sen to be able to draw that +1 card. Alberto always play the heavy ball before the quick ball? No, because if nothing's prized, then you might want to save the heavy ball for more quick ball fodder. Like, you're always playing the quick ball there in that scenario as Alberto. Even if, well, if you heavy ball into a Comfy and then Comfy into a Comfy, then you could quick ball for something else. I guess there is an argument for that, to be honest. I'm not sure. I'd have to like look at the scenario and think about it a little bit harder, Fred. But my brain, I can't consume that much energy right now to like think back on that. It's actually an interesting spot because Alberto's hand is dead, but so is Sen's. Actually, no, Alberto's got... I didn't think Alberto had anything else to work with. Actually, Alberto has another Comfy cooking here. Yeah, I thought... actually, it's interesting. Alberto doesn't know this. Alberto doesn't know this, but Alberto shouldn't play Escape Rope here. I don't think it would be definitely incorrect for Alberto to play Escape Rope here. But Alberto could make the call, okay, Escape Rope, they're going to go into the Regidrago if I do this, if their hand is dead. And that's what Sen should do here, is go into Regidrago. So you have another one, so if it dies, you have it back up. And it is currently, like if you top like an Ultra Ball or a Quick Ball or an Aurora Energy, you can actually use Regidrago to draw cards. So this, I don't know why this is such a big debate here for Sen. It should always be the, should always be the Regidrago. It's also like important to talk about for on Sen's side of things. Alberto doesn't care if this game doesn't finish. Sen really cares if this game finishes or doesn't finish. So Sen should be playing, and I talk about this, I've been talking about this a lot when I've been watching these regionals. I talked about this a lot during these regional broadcasts about like how you want proper time management. Like one of the main reasons that the best players are consistently the best players is not just their play and their deck choice, but how they manage a best 2 out of 3. Even if it means you make misplays, it's better to be more time efficient as Sen than to be right in the correct. Like, it's better to be time efficient than make the correct play here as Sen. Ooh, Alberto gives up the Kyogre, but it's for a Colress. That's a pretty big deal, especially when you want to get this Luminion off the board ASAP. I'm sure Alberto's trying to get to the 7 and then get this Luminion back into the deck as soon as possible. Especially if you can get the KO on the Lucky. I guess that's probably not happening anymore to get the KO on the Lucky. But you just want to get this Luminion back in the deck so there's just not a 2 prize Pokemon sitting on your bench for the rest of the game. But yeah, Sen shouldn't overthink anything in the situation, or trying to avoid overthinking as much as possible because of how little time is left right now in the match. Sen should be trying to play as efficiently as possible, as time efficiently as possible, as opposed to as perfectly as possible. And there's the Aurora top deck. So we should see, boom, throw down Aurora onto the Drago, get rid of Drago, Ordinary Rod your Drago back to the deck, and then draw some cards. But Sen is taking so much time with every single... This is like agonizing to watch, I'm not going to lie. It's every single action is taking so long. I guess that's fine. No. If you get a research here, then you're going to discard the Drago with a Drago in your active that then gets KO'd. It's actually incorrect to get rid of the Lucky there. But once again, as long as Sen is making actions, I'm happy with that. I just want to see Sen making actions. Don't overthink anything. Make actions. It is incorrect to get rid of the Lucky. You should put the Drago back in the deck, not the Lucky. Because if you draw into a research here and then your Drago gets KO'd, you, instead of having a... And there's the research. Everything that I'm saying is just happening. There's the research, so now your Drago's in the discard pile instead of in the deck, and your Drago's probably what's getting KO'd here as well. Unless you go with the net, though, actually. So Sen goes with the net. Oh, and actually, I do like the Lucky attack here because there's no mana fee. So the net's good. The net's good. I didn't see the net in the hand initially. I was blinded by the research. So now it's a little bit less bad that there's not a Drago. Actually, now it works out that there's a Lucky in the active, to be honest. Maybe that's what Sen was thinking about the whole time, though. And maybe Sen was like, the only way I win this, I want to put as much pressure on as possible. So I want to play really heavily for the Lucky attack here. So I'm going to put the Lucky back in the deck, which would be reasonable to actually put the Lucky back then instead. And in that situation, actually, I'm just wrong. Yeah, and in that situation, then I'm just wrong, to be honest. But yeah, goes with the Lucky. It works out. Got the Lucky now. Lucky swinging. No mana fee on the bench. So looking okay here for Sen. Gonna do the punch here. Knockout. Probably see... I don't actually know where you put these 40s, to be honest. Ends up with 40 on Comfy. I don't know if I don't know. There's so many net left for Alberto. I maybe would just punch the Luminion, because I guess it could get weird and the damage could stack up on a Luminion enough to the point where you could, like, instead of Gust KO Luminion, you could have, like, Bad Lucky KO Luminion. So... Ooh, the hand, once again, sucks for Alberto. Comfy for 2. Definitely is probably just looking for a Chorus. And I don't think there's a Chorus there if it's taking this long for Alberto to decide what to take. Yeah, no Chorus there. Almost certainly. Get rid of water, keeps the water. Oh, no. Definitely needs to, like... This is so awkward for Alberto. Because if you leave the Comfy in the active, that's all of your draw support. I think I would concede here as Alberto this turn right now. Concede... actually, I don't know. Well, I actually think I would concede because I actually think it's pretty reasonable for Sen to draw 6 prize cards when you have two prize Pokemon on your board like this. I don't even know what Alberto does here because if you don't keep the Comfy, you don't have any dig. You don't get to 7 in the Lost Zone. It's also actually I think Alberto misplayed there. Alberto probably should have Ordinary Rotted Comfy back to the deck before using Comfy, maybe just the Comfy, to increase the chances of seeing a Comfy, because you have double switch card in hand, so then you could switch card into Comfy, and then use Comfy, and then use Mirage Gate a little bit more likely. So I think actually you should have, because there's 2 rods in Alberto's hand, they should have rotted 1 Comfy back, and even at the end of this turn right here, they should have still rotted a Comfy back, so they increase their odds of top decking Comfy. That's a lot of Comfy. All right, Sen's on it. Making actions. There we go. Gust up that Luminion right now. That's the play. Boom. There we go. Love to see it. Couldn't get the Luminion out of play. Actually, that's one of the reasons maybe Sen shouldn't have attacked with... Actually, I take that back. I think attacking with Lucky from Sen last turn was bad because that gave a target for Alberto's Luminion to actually get it out of play and take a knockout. I mean, Alberto just wants to get the Luminion out of play, but if you're going to take a knockout with it, it makes it that much sweeter, right? Or that much better. So actually, the Lucky attack on the previous turn wasn't that good, to be honest. I still think attacking with Drago was probably better. And then look for the Lucky attack once you have the Gust knockout, which we do have here. And it knocks out the Comfy as well, which is pretty sick, actually. Actually, that does make it kind of worth. Because we had the setup of the... But it did... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to overthink that one too much. All right, draw from Alberto. Dead hand. Yeah, there's the concede finally. So they got 5 minutes left. We got 5 minutes left. in this one. Pretty unlikely that either player will be able to walk away with a win here. I almost want to see, and I think that's what we are seeing here, Alberto choose to go second. And I think Alberto did choose to go second here. Just try and get aggressive and win off the rip. And then if you whiff it, I mean, you could always just like set up 6 one-prize Pokemon and hope that Sen can't draw 6 prize cards in enough time. And I doubt either player, unless one of them bricked, would be able to draw enough prize cards in enough time here. I wonder what this card is that Sen's agonizing over it. I think Sen maybe should have attached a speed lighting first as well before these Trekking Shoes, to be honest. Oh, it was a quick ball. Oh, I like the quick ball take there, actually, to be honest. You need to set up. You got to be aggressive here. You need to find your Reggies. I guess in the same, I don't know. It's not going to happen. There's no way this one ends in time. Like, there's no way there's enough time for this one to end. As long as, like, Alberto has a reasonable start and, like, doesn't have Greninja pass. Long AF game 1, brick game 2, tie, so sad. Rip Alberto the God. Yo, the heavy ball in the opening hand. Let's get it. Yo, maybe Alberto just goes with like a turn 1 Kyogre and just tries to like hit the nuts off the rip. I would like to see it. And when you're in this kind of situation, as long as Alberto like is keeping track of time and time remaining, then you know what? Screw it. Let's just go with a turn 1 Kyogre here as Alberto, from Alberto. Being up a battle VIP pass, probably gonna get double comfy, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Alberto go with the just go with turn 1 Kyogre, knock out a couple Pokemon. It doesn't really matter here though. I don't think they got 2 minutes left. I might just go ahead and skip ahead in this one. I'm almost positive this ends up in a tie. Let's go ahead and just skip ahead to right here and let's see if there was any hope for either player. They have 1 minute left. 11 seconds left. 0. Neither player has drawn a prize card yet. It looks like actually Alberto had a pretty bad turn 1. And then 3, 2, 1. And yeah, that'll be time. So both players tie. Turn 0, 1, 2, 3. All right. So tie here in round 12. Yeah. Alberto takes game 1. Pretty clean. I would like to have seen the heavy ball and the Kyogre be utilized a little bit more aggressively. Sen played turn 1 pretty poorly. And who knows, maybe if they play a little bit more aggressively on the first turn, they get a supporter earlier on, they can find those Marnies for the late game. Had a pretty cool play at the end of the game to get 2 Pokemon out of play to stop the going down to 1 Pokemon in play to stop the Kyogre play. The end wasn't enough, but yeah, if Sen had played a little bit more aggressively on that turn 1, I think it was a pretty big mistake with their Regidrago use. And yeah, if they had found a supporter in those like next couple cards, who knows where the game could have gone. But we move on to the next round, round 13. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go back quite a bit. Lugia Mirror, bro. We've avoided these like all tournament, I feel like. This is so sad that we actually run into one. I don't think we've hit a Lugia Mirror yet. I hate these things, but we're gonna get into it anyways. I don't have like as strong of opinions on the Lugia Mirror as well. I mean, I'll say what I think, but the matchup, I don't play a lot of Lugia, so. All right, we got Ethan versus Brian in the Lugia Mirror. Ethan is going first and has the Raikou start. Curious to see what differences each player brought here. Double powerful energy prize for Ethan does have choice belts. Brian's prize cards, we see a heat energy. So double powerful could be a big deal, possibly. With only 2 powerful in the deck, Ethan can't reliably use a Lugia to KO a Lugia. Another Evolution Incense and an Ultra Ball. But the rest of the hand there for... No, it's actually fine there for Ethan. We have an Ultra Ball that could get Luminion. And there's a Capture Energy in the hand as well. So you could go Ultra Ball for Luminion right off the rip. Or you could just attach Capture to the active. Go ahead and grab. So this could grab Luminion. You could Capture to the active to grab Lugia V. And then you could just pass from there. Which I think we'll probably see from Ethan. You could put Luminion in play and put the Capture on Luminion. Ooh, no, I think you just hold it. Actually, Ethan turn 2 could go Gust off the Luminion and then actually KO. I don't like this play from Ethan. I don't know why Ethan's being so aggressive. Like, why get the Marnie right now? Unless Ethan hasn't... Because you could actually go... If you save the Luminion could get you a Gust effect, and then the Raikou could KO a Lugia V plus KO Raikou next turn. I actually really dislike this play from Ethan. The capture on the Raikou doesn't look great, but if it leads to the play that I just described, you just win the game. Like, I think you just win. So, does Brian play Dunsparce? If they do, they got to get it. And even then, if they do put Dunsparce in play, the Raikou could KO the Guru plus the Dunsparce. So I think Ethan holding on to Luminion there is just correct. Also, in this situation with how this is built up now, if Brian just plays Marnie, you just have a Luminion in play that you now have to get out of play, which isn't the hardest thing in the mirror match. You can KO Raikou, Guru, Charizard, Yveltal with the Luminion. You can KO all those things with Luminion, but you still have to do that. Like, it's like something you have to do. And it's possible Brian could KO your Luminion before you get to get it out of play. I think Ethan misplayed by benching the Luminion here. I guess, like, you're theoretically playing around Paths of the Peak. Some Lugias play Paths of the Peak. That'd be pretty annoying. That'd be pretty unfortunate. But I don't know. I think you could take that risk here as Ethan, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of how Ethan played this, to be honest. There's the Manaphy to already protect around the Raikou, though. But the option still would have been pretty good. Like, yeah, I think just leaving the option open would have been the correct choice here from Ethan. And if Brian does get something like the Manaphy in play, the capture energy on the Raikou is still pretty good, because then you can retreat the Raikou more easily into your Luminion, and then Luminion KO Brian's Guru potentially next turn. So, yeah, I think I like the way that would have lined up. I think I would have liked how that lined up a little bit better. There's the Wisdom from Brian. I think Brian set up pretty good on the first turn. Oh no, first the capture energy. Oh no, I think they did Wisdom. Oh, capture and fail, and yeah, I think Brian also has the double in the discard pile here. It's still pretty good to have. Maybe it still would have been pretty good for Ethan to Gust KO here. It wouldn't have been terrible. You definitely don't. Raikou into Guru is pretty bad though, because then you like put 3 Auroras on it and you lose access to. You definitely just want to use Luminion here, actually. What am I thinking? Yeah, you definitely just attack with Luminion here, Ethan. But you do have to set some energy up in play. Or you want to try and set up some energy in play. You ideally want to have, like, some energy on your Lugia. So if Brian went, like, turn 2 Gust KO one of your Archeops, your Lugia could respond. Everyone has the Canceling Cologne. Ethan has Canceling Cologne as well. Almost, it feels like everyone played Canceling Cologne. It took the deck to win the regional to make people want to play Canceling Cologne. Crackler gets second, and everyone's like, is the Vika Vault deck actually good? There we go. I think Ethan wants to try and draw into the double turbo energy here. Now, this is where it can get a little bit awkward for Ethan. Like, if you do use Luminion here, you're actually expending all of your energy. In play. So you're going down to 0 energy in play. Excuse me. If you go down to 0 energy in play, it makes Archeops a pretty good target for Brian here. Now, Brian's hand sucks, so Brian doesn't have it, but Brian wouldn't need a whole ton theoretically. We just need V-Star plus Boss. Too hard to get. Here comes second chops. Probably just gonna burn a double turbo. Maybe not though. I could see like using 2. But yeah, it looks like maybe just burning a double turbo. You could put an Aurora on there as well. You'd have a little bit of energy. I guess I do kind of like that from Ethan here, putting at least 1 energy on the Raikou to make it somewhat of a threat. Oh, yeah, because if you do this and you retreat and then you shuffle Luminion back into the deck, you have 0 energy. Gets rid of the Serena to get their own Manaphy. Okay. But I don't know if you need Manaphy here as Ethan. What are you putting Manaphy in play for? Why are you being so aggressive for the Manaphy? Because we're going to run to Raikou, right? As Ethan here? You run to Raikou as Ethan here. If Brian attacks with Raikou, he would hit your Raikou, and then there's no other good target on your field for the Raikou to hit. Now, I guess Brian could have Raikou attach V-Star Boss and go KO Archeops, KO Raikou, but that's a lot for Brian to have off of a Marnie. So I'm not sure I actually like Ethan being this I don't know. Does Ethan need to get Manaphy here? I feel like Ethan doesn't need to get Manaphy here. I feel like it's not that big of a deal for Ethan to get Manaphy here. I feel like it's okay. But now you have to put a Luminion in play next turn as Ethan because you discarded your Serena, which was your supporter, draw supporter, or Gust supporter on the next turn. So not a huge fan. But Brian actually does have the play. Did have the play if they top deck the V-Star there. But instead, Brian's hand is absolutely dead. And the Lugia Mirror continues. So Brian's going to read the wind here. Probably attach powerful to the bench Lugia. Boss up. Manaphy. Yikes. Boss up Manaphy. No, read the win the boss. Okay. Well, Raikou's good for Ethan now. Raikou's a pretty good attacker. Drawing 2 prize cards. So I think we'll see Ethan go set up Raikou. Raikou knock out Lugia. I don't imagine you'd want to... Oh, Ethan forgot to draw a prize card. Okay. So powerful attached to the Lugia on the bench. Archeops to your Raikou. Raikou knock out Lugia. Seems like the play here from Ethan. Curious to see if they come up with a different line of play. But that seems reasonable to me. We'll see though. Has Luminion in hand as well, so maybe thinking about some kind of boss type play, but I don't know if that's necessary. Yeah, I think just Raikou swinging here is fine. You can't Yveltal anymore, but you still have all your powerful energy. And Ethan does play Choice Belts as well, so the Raikou, if the Raikou is ignored, you could use Raikou plus Choice Belt to KO a Lugia potentially. And you have Charizard as well towards the late game that could KO another Lugia. You just lose the Yveltal play, but the Yveltal play is not the only thing you need, so... It's thinking about throwing the V-Guard on the Raikou as well to stop Luminion from... I forget what Luminion's attack is, to be honest, but to stop it from knocking out the Raikou and going back to the deck, which is like, I don't know, with Brian's current setup, I don't know if I'd be that afraid of this play, to be honest. I don't know if I'd put the V-Guard on the Raikou here. I don't think I care if Brian does that play. Like, yeah. Oh, and no attachment from Ethan either. I don't like that either. I think you should attach your Lugia here as Ethan. I would attach the powerful energy to my Lugia here for sure as Ethan. It's not a big deal. It's not a huge deal. You can still pretty much set up as much energy as you want and play on the next turn. So Brian's got some plays here. I think Brian should probably go for, with the Ultra Ball, probably should go for boss KO on Ethan's Lugia, because the Raikou of Ethan currently can't KO the Lugia, and the Charizard can't either, without a Choice Belt. If they get a Choice Belt, that sucks, but you force him to go get a Choice Belt, I feel like, here. Or actually... Well, actually, it looks like Brian's just going to go for the Canceling Cologne boss play instead, actually, which is actually pretty cool. I don't know if that's, like, worth it, though. Maybe it is. Yeah, I think we're about to see the Canceling Cologne boss play here from... Actually, no. Not this turn. Wait, what would that even lead to, though, if we don't do it this turn? Because Brian discarded an energy there. I think we're just going to see Brian go KO Lugia. Research. But then we could have attached the energy out of hand instead of discarding it, right? Okay, I thought the play was like available for a second, but now I'm pretty sure it's just not a play that's possible. I think Brian is just going to go Gust KO Lugia off the bench, which I like. Force Ethan to have a Choice Belt to take a knockout next turn. Ethan is still ahead, even if Ethan doesn't find a Choice Belt, though. Ethan doesn't really care. Boss on Lugia. Okay. Brian is maybe going to hold the hand? Wait, why do you... Oh, no, because you have to boss here. But no, why do we keep the... Is it worth to keep the... Okay, that makes sense. You have to hold the hand because you're playing the boss. I was like, why aren't we playing Research? You can't play Research. So instead of attaching the Aurora for turn to the Raikou, what did Brian do? Just discard it? Instead of discarding the Canceling Cologne. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. There's 2 boss in Brian's discard pile now, so you can never like bring up the Manaphy and use the Raikou for that play. I guess maybe if it ever came up that the Manaphy got pushed after a Luminion attack, then you would be able to take the knockout on it like that. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of not keeping the Aurora energy for future turn for Brian, but it might not matter. I don't know. The Canceling Clone just seems like it's never going to see play. That's the reason I don't like the keep there. All right. Let's see if Ethan can find... what are we looking for? Well, the 2 powerful energy in the hand kind of suck because you might want to set up another Lugia. Actually, to be honest, you could just attach it to an Archeops here. I think if you should attach to Archeops here, you're fine as Ethan. Oops, I didn't mean to skip ahead there. How much did I skip ahead? I think if Ethan just attaches one of those powerfuls to an Archeops and then just punches, you're good. But I think you should play the Research still. This is your second Luminion? No, I don't think so. Yeah, if you just attach a powerful to an Archeops and play the Research, that seems fine for me from Ethan. And then hope to draw a Choice Belt, but if you don't, you just 2-hit KO this Lugia and then go KO a 1 prizer at some point. That'll probably come into the active by Brian sending it to the active. I would even use some of your Archeops as well. Maybe load up an Aurora on the Charizard if it's in the deck. Actually, no, the last Aurora might be prized, but there could be the Heat Energy in the deck. And you could even load up like another powerful on an Archeops too. Or you could also hold the hand, because then you have the Luminion that can find the Gust effect to chase this Lugia next. Actually, yeah, you could just hold the hand and hold the Luminion. So you go powerful to Archeops, use one Archeops, put a Heat Energy on a Charizard, use an Archeops, put a Energy on a Archeops, and then you have the Luminion for the Gust in the hand for the next turn. And then Charizard would clean up from there. But if Ethan does play 2 Luminion, I think the second Luminion would be in the deck. For some reason, I'm thinking there's Luminion in Ethan's discard pile, but I'm pretty sure there's not. It's in the hand. Okay, perfect. But I think I would have also used... I would have used the Archeops ahead of time there and put the Heat Energy on the Charizard, I think. Like, it's where you want it. Now we drew into the Heat Energy, which is where we don't want it. So I think definitely a mistake there from Ethan. Should have got the Heat Energy out of the deck, and maybe should have loaded up like one of these captures. Yeah, I think like loading up one of these captures onto the Archeops that has the powerful would have been fine too. Because like Brian really can't ignore... I don't think Brian can ignore your Raikou, really. Like, I think that has to go down here. So, yeah, I think you could have, like, loaded up before the research for sure from Ethan. And all these little things sometimes make a difference, sometimes don't. But it would be nice to not draw into energy you don't have to draw into, for sure. Ethan hasn't attached yet still, so I'd still like to see the Heat Energy on the Charizard, I think. I don't know why Ethan doesn't throw that on the Charizard. You have plenty of energy left in the deck to close this game out, so... That's where you want the Heat Energy, and once again, Brian can't really ignore your Raikou, I feel like, so... Thinking about thinning out the deck here aggressively with the Quick Balls. Could Quick Ball for a dead basic, Quick Ball away that basic, and then maybe either get something to keep. Oh, there's a Guru left in the deck. But we should have thinned out a basic there, I think, there's Ethan, first with the other Quick Ball. You could see the Quick Ball in the deck, though, as well, to like have more outs to Luminion. And we'll see the Primate Wisdom come down here and probably conserve the boss's orders, because you just want to gust this Lugia up as soon as possible. The one thing to, I guess, think about here is what if Brian plays Collapse Stadium? And gets rid of this Lugia. That would be a little bit scary for Ethan, but also nobody plays Collapse Stadium, so I don't think you have to be scared of that. Although that would be something to like consider, I guess. That would be like the thing to consider here, I guess. Would be, oh, if they play Collapse Stadium, they can find Collapse Stadium, discard this damaged Lugia, but I don't know, no one plays Collapse Stadium. It's not a thing. No one does it. No one wants to do it. No one's doing it. Not happening. Collapse Stadium is a myth in Lugia at this point. Legend tells of a stadium card that used to be played. That is no longer played. Okay. I wonder what Brian was planning to attack with. Maybe he's just going to hit with the Lugia again. Although that doesn't seem great to hit with Lugia again here as Brian. Could do it, though. We got the Chops getting set up, so the Chops might be the move here from Brian. And looking out, or searching out another Lugia. I do like this Lugia grab, I think. I think you need like another big attacker to follow up into, so we're looking like going... But yeah, you have to go like Lugia, Archeops, Lugia. If there's a V-Star left here for Brian. There's the Chops. There's the Zard. Okay, doesn't actually commit to the... Are there? So still no 2 prize in play for Ethan. Ethan can KO this opposing Archeops with an Archeops. I believe there's 2 powerful left. But I think what Ethan probably wants to do is just go Gust KO Lugia. Actually, if Ethan just goes double turbo, not double turbo, powerful energy on the active, plus an energy, Gust, not Gust, yes Gust, Gust KO the Lugia, plus attach the Heat Energy to the Charizard, I'm pretty sure Ethan just wins. Ethan could also Marnie here and Gust next turn. That wouldn't be terrible. I don't know if that's actually ever better or worse. Gusting now seems better. Especially if you have another Gust in the deck, which I think you do. So then your opponent would have to Gust your Charizard to have a chance. So I think Gusting here is just better from Ethan. It's better to just Gust this turn on the Lugia. And you even have the Primate Wisdom. So you can even Primate Wisdom the Luminion on top to find the other boss next turn. Yeah, so this is like just like 100% setup here from Ethan. And okay, on the Gust, Brian will concede. Cool. Yeah, that's how it should go. Lugia mirrors is like the old Malamar mirrors where there are level 1, 2, and 3 to it in terms of skill. Not even close. It's not even close. Malamar, or what's it called? Mirror Cap's pretty fast. Lugia Mirror Cap's pretty fast. All right, this time Brian's going first. Opening hand, not great. It's not terrible. You have the Luminian for a draw supporter. Quick ball going down here. I'm curious to see what Brian goes for. Goes for the Guru. On Ethan's side, open the Manaphy, which is actually not a great starter, to be honest, because if it goes down turn 2 to Brian, could even go down turn 2 to a Stoutland as well. We'll see. As far as prize cards go, the Raikou is prized for Ethan. And 1 powerful is stuck in the last 2, but 3 powerful energy is usually the cap of what you need for Lugia. Yeah, I don't think you ever need more than 3 powerful in the mirror match. Well, you might want it in the late game, but like you need 3 powerful for a Lugia to KO Lugia is like the big thing, I think. Opening hand here from Ethan, though, does look solid. Got Evolution Incense plus an Archeops and a Marnie, so it looks good here for Ethan. I'm probably gonna end up playing the Marnie as well. Maybe we'll bench this Charizard. You do want Charizard in play, but you want Charizard in play. But yeah, you don't want to lose. It's less than bench space. It's more about bench space than it would be about Brian Gust KOing your Charizard. It's more about losing the bench space to benching the Charizard this early. I think that would be like the one thing that could feel bad pretty soon, but I don't think it would, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, Ethan opening the Manaphy could be weird as well. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal as long as Ethan doesn't bench their Guru down immediately, or very early on until the Raikou's been dealt with, or the Aurora energy have been exhausted. Yep, there's the Lugia grab. And it would be interesting to see if like Ethan tried to really protect Manaphy by retreating it into something, but I don't think it's like that big of a concern to protect. I do like the Zard bench, I think, and the Marnie. Could have put the double turbo on the Lugia, but probably don't want to do that in this scenario because you're not going to be the first one attacking with Lugia. Makes sense. The draw from Brian is okay. Does have, once again, the one thing that Brian has going for them is they got the Luminian, which they actually maybe Primate Wisdom to the top of the deck there, to be honest. There's the Heat to the Zard. I do like seeing some energy get attached here from Ethan. And the pass over to Brian. Ooh, does Brian actually have... How many Archeops in the discard? There's only 1 Archeops in the discard pile for Brian. I meant with first. Oh, that is enough. Brian actually has the knockout on Ethan's Lugia. That's interesting. And has the follow-up Luminian to potentially Gust again. So I think Brian's going to go for it here. I think it's correct. Yeah, with the double turbo draw, I think it's probably correct for Brian to go for this. You definitely set back Ethan a turn. You'll get another use out of your Archeops before you lose it. I like it. You start for 1. And this is where, as Ethan, you're probably like, ah, shoot, here we go. Too powerful. Because you saw the quick ball get played, right? Or did a quick ball get played out of Brian's hand? I actually don't know now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, quick ball for Guru, right? Am I trolling? No, the quick ball's still in the hand. Boom. Boss on the Lugia. Knockout. I like it. I think it's probably correct here. Has the Luminian as a follow-up Gust as well. So once again, Ethan has to get down double Lugia to feel safe. And has 0 in the hand. So I'm going to start with the Evolution Incense to grab probably a second Archeops. Oh, no, actually might be 2 in the discard pile here from Ethan. So actually, I don't even know if I like this Archeops grab because you need to draw cards with Serena here. So now you're going to draw less than 5 cards, I think. Oh, no, but you want to keep the Lugia V. That's rough. You kind of want to keep the Lugia V-Star, but you also need to draw 2 Lugia V. And you choose 0. All right, let's go to game 3. I don't think Ethan is going to stick this one out. I think it would be, I mean, not a huge well, I guess if you can follow up with Charizard hit next turn. Okay, maybe I don't hate Ethan sticking it out. Because if Brian's hand is not great and Brian just kind of goes pass, and then Ethan can go, okay, cool, chill. And then goes Charizard knockout plus bench of Lugia V. I guess I could see Ethan walking away with this one. There's an Archeops use onto a Lugia. I like this from Brian. Setting up another Lugia here makes sense. Makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I like it. Lugia does seem like your best attacker here. I don't know if you're going to put Comboing powerful with a double turbo seems interesting, though. Does that make sense? In my head, that doesn't make any sense. Don't we want to be able to go like double powerful plus choice belt KO Lugia V-Star at some point? I don't like that double turbo alongside the powerful there from Brian. I think it should have been like a capture or something. So Brian could go for boss here and KO the Charizard. I think that would put Brian in a pretty good spot. Instead, he's just going to go with the Primate Wisdom, and then I think play a Marnie here. Aurora's first, though. I don't hate that. Oh, doesn't actually play the Marnie, though. Decides not to. I guess, yeah, actually, that makes sense. Why would you want a Marnie? They had no Lugia Vs last turn. Okay, for Ethan, if Ethan can actually find a Choice Belt. Actually, does Ethan have a double turbo on the Charizard? No. If Ethan can actually find a Choice Belt, I mean, it's still looking bad for Ethan, but there's a chance, I guess. If Ethan can find a Choice Belt. Oh, maybe the reason Brian put the double turbo there is like, so you could attack with it with the double turbo. Ooh, there is the Choice Belt there for Ethan, but also now you could hard retreat the Lugia for the double turbo into a Luminion to KO the Charizard, which is probably what Brian's going to do here on this next turn. I would assume, maybe. Using Luminion as an attacker is not as good when you only have one Archeops in play. There's the cap. Is Ethan going to extend for 2 Lugia here? It's because I would hate to see Ethan only put 1 Lugia V in play here still and just be like, okay, if you have a Guts effect this time as well, I'll just take the L. Well, but also you have the Charizard in play as Ethan here. Oh, and it looks like Ethan's last Lugia V is prized anyway, so that wasn't even an option. Guru, the Quick Ball on top, has the Choice Belt like I mentioned. So yeah, Choice Belt active. Boom, there's the knockout. Okay, we might have a game here. So now for Brian, well, I think Brian still just KOs the Lugia V, right? You just go Gus, KO Lugia V, and you're winning. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, whoa. Oh, no, we got the Charizard here. So, yeah, Brian can still go Gus KO Lugia V and just basically win the game. Yeah, Brian has game on board right now if you Gus KO Lugia V. Because the Lugia, if you Gus KO it with the Charizard, because the Lugia V will be able to KO, the Lugia V will be able to KO the Charizard next turn, I think. Actually, maybe not. No, but the Luminion could definitely KO the Charizard next turn. So I guess you could also go Luminion. No, you should just KO the Lugia V off the bench, right? Doesn't that make the most sense? You could go Luminion KO Charizard, but that doesn't make as much sense to me, I don't think. All right, the Zard's getting loaded up. Capture as well. Probably going to grab... Oh, Guru's in play. I was going to say, probably going to grab Guru. I have no idea what we're going to get here from Brian, to be honest. Doesn't matter. Raikou, maybe, I guess? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know... All right, Raikou, let's do it. Cool guy. And like I said, I assume Luminion's going to go get the boss to KO the Lugia V here. But maybe not. Aurora back to the deck. Okay, it is happening. It's happening. Just after the... Putting that back in the deck. And here we go. Serena. Serena gust up the Lugia. Knock out the Lugia with the Charizard. And then Luminion or Lugia should be able to KO Ethan's Charizard, and there's the concede from Ethan. So we are getting in game 3. Rough starts. Rough start from Brian into rough start from Ethan. And now we get to go into game 3 of the Lugia Mirror, which I'm so excited for. Let's get into it so we can get out of it as soon as possible. And this is round what? 14 or round 13? I think it's round 13. All right. Guru start versus Yveltal start. Yveltal start's actually pretty good when you play the Raikou, because the Raikou's like a good alternate attacker to the Yveltal in the mirror match, and you're usually not attacking with both. And it is a 1-prize Pokemon in the active here. So, opening hand here for Ethan is not great. I definitely like the Primate Wisdom first here. I want to put back an Aurora energy. Ooh, they got a powerful an Aurora. They got a lot of good energy in the hand. Grabs a Choice Belt. Ooh, the Choice Belt onto the Raikou is going to be pretty nice. Here comes the cap to go ahead and grab themselves the Lugia. No Archeops in the discard pile turn 1, though. So Brian... I don't even know what I was going to say. There's nothing Brian can do to disrupt that, to be honest. Yeah, Lugia V grab here. We'll go from there. Come to OCIC? I will be coming to OCIC, yeah. Alright. Cap. Lugia V. Checking prize cards. For the prize cards, double Marnie prize for Ethan, I guess could be annoying. Luminion prize for Brian. Double powerful prize for Brian. Does play a Choice Belt, but can't find... Brian can't get the triple powerful setup. Okay, over to Brian. The opening hand is not great. You do have an Ultra Ball there, but the Ultra Ball like, has to grab Luminion. And you probably don't want to research away Charizard and Raikou. So Charizard's coming down, and it looks like Brian's going to attach a capture to the Charizard. Make a little bit of an earlier threat. Going to grab a Lugia. And then I assume Ultra Ball for Luminion. Actually, how many Luminion does Brian play? The answer is 1, and the answer, and unfortunately, it's not in the deck. It's prized. So, Brian's gonna have to hope to top deck here. I don't know what you do here. You could Ultra Ball for an Archeops to thin out your deck by 1 card and then hope to top deck something. I think that is what Brian's gonna do. Maybe I missed it, and there is a second Luminion in the deck. Maybe I'm trolling. Nope, gets the Archeops, and gonna be a pass after this from Brian. I don't know about discarding the Lugia V-Star then instead of something else, to be honest. Actually, I don't know if I like that there from Brian, because that's like another piece that you need. There's the bench. Oh, there's a research in the hand the whole time. I don't know what I thought that was. What did I think that was? I thought it was a boss. I definitely thought that wasn't I definitely thought that wasn't a research. That's for sure. All right, Manaphy grab here from Brian, which is pretty relevant here to not get Raikou'd by Ethan. The Raikou taking out Yveltal Raikou would have been pretty bad. Lose a lot of attacking options, stuff like that. Losing the Yveltal here, though, is not going to be a big deal for Brian. No second Lugia isn't going to be that big of a deal. There's no Archeops in the discard pile here for Ethan, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And we should just see a pass from Brian. Although we could see... Actually, maybe Brian should Primate Wisdom here, which I think what Brian is going to set up here. I think Brian's going to go get Archeops, and then Quick Ball for Guru, and then Primate Wisdom, the Lugia V-Star on top of the deck. It'll be interesting, because then you have 4 Pokemon on your bench, so if Ethan doesn't take a knockout this turn, I could be wrong as well with that. Oh, it is just the past. Oh, wait a second, so what happened here? Oh, there's no draw supporter in the hand here for Brian, so Brian's trying to thin out the deck, but didn't bench the Manaphy, so the Raikou play here is like pretty good. Why is Burner bad in Lugia? Because you just don't use it often enough to actually make it worth playing. Yeah, so the Raikou play here for Ethan is actually alive and well, because we got the Manaphy from Brian, but then Brian chose not to play it. So if you're gonna getting a 2 prize cards off 1 attack is basically the name of the game in the mirror match. I feel like, so try and do that as often as you possibly can. So we'll see if Ethan goes for it. Has Raikou in hand, has Evolution Incense in hand, has no Archeops in the discard pile. Did just use Primate Wisdom. I'm not sure what they put on the top of the deck, but has the research as well. So they're gonna go with the research here. Yeah, it makes him not have enough space for 2 Archeops, but you're also not going to be the first one. Theoretically, you're not the first person taking a prize card here, so you could, if they're going to take a knockout, that'll open up the bench space for you. It would just be bad where they don't take the knockout. I thought Brian was doing a whole bunch of things, and then I realized, man, if he wasn't down. And then if you bench Guru, you're in the same situation as well, which is what I thought Brian was maybe going to do, was bench Guru. Put the Guru down, and then Primate Wisdom the V-Star on top, but didn't do that either. All right, here we go. It's getting set up. Has a choice belt as well for the Lugia, and then there is the research. How good is the draw though? There's 2 Ultra Balls in the hand, but there's a lot of energy in the hand here as well here for Ethan. Gives up a powerful and a V-Guard. Gets the Archeops. We'll have to give up 1 more energy on this next Ultra Ball. Oof. Is it 3 powerful? Did Ethan draw 3 powerful there? I think they did. Oh my gosh. That's bad. But can pull off the Raikou play. Can get this Raikou play, but is it worth it at the expense of so many energy? There's a lot of energy gone. Chops are in. You see a couple energy hit the active here. And then the double Aurora on the bench to take out the Yveltal and the Raikou, which is not only going to give Ethan 2 prize cards, but also like limits Brian's attacking options in the future. Yeah, what energy is Ethan going to grab for the Guru here? Thinking about a double turbo. Goes with the capture. I think it makes the most sense. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of powerful gone down from Ethan now. There's 1 in hand, and there might be 1 more in deck. Boom, 2 prize cards. Not looking great for Brian, but we'll see if he can pull it out on this next turn. Does have the chops in the discard pile already, I believe. If not, there's another one in the hand. There should be 2 in the discard pile after... Oh, there is already 2 in the discard pile. That's what I thought. Okay. So, yeah, what are we going to see Brian do? Could attack with Stoutland. That doesn't seem great. Could attack with... I don't know. What is the best attacker here from Brian? Is there a good attacker here from Brian? Should Brian have benched the Manaphy last turn? Goes and gets a Guru. I think Brian swinging here with... What's it called? Is pretty solid, though. If Brian just attacks with Lugia and then kind of hopes that Ethan can't put together the KO on their turn, maybe that's just the play to go with. As Brian here. And is lining up the Aurora energies, which makes sense because all of Brian's Aurora attackers are gone. So I think Brian's plan here is going to be back-to-back Lugia V-Stars. I would assume would be maybe back-to-back Lugia V-Stars. I guess I could see it not being back-to-back Lugia V-Stars. But back-to-back Lugia V-Stars seems reasonable to me here. We'll see, though. Because theoretically, if Ethan knocks out this Lugia V-Star, your next one should survive. There we go. Primate Wisdom's into a Marnie. Benches Lugia V-Star. Second Archeops is on the way. Probably gonna put some energy on that bench Lugia, but you probably don't want to commit too many powerful energy because you don't want that thing to get KO'd. So you probably want to commit like captures or a heat to the Charizard also works as well. There is 2 powerful prize from Brian, so you need to pull one of them. And we see in this situation, actually, I don't know how the prize cards are going to get drawn here from Brian. I don't know what's first to be drawn here, boss or powerful energy. We'll see. One of them is getting drawn though, that's for sure. Got the powerful energy. That's a big hit. And Ethan does not have a ton of powerful energy left. But I think Ethan has enough powerful energy for this Lugia to KO Lugia. And then it'll just come down to how does Ethan get to the last 2 prize cards. Does still have Charizard left. And could like use an Archeops to like KO a Guru with a boss or something like that as well. So Ethan's ahead. And I think there's a route for Ethan to stay ahead for the rest of the game, to be honest. Just needs to get all the cards. Has access to Illuminion here. And does have that choice belt on the active Lugia right now. So if there is 2 powerful left in the deck, Ethan has already been through quite a few. But if there is 2 left in the deck, Ethan can knock out this Lugia here because they do have the choice belt. We'll see what happens here. Primate Wisdom first. Gets another Quick Ball. So has 2 Quick Balls now. I think wants to like check to make sure all the energy they need are in the deck. I see 1 powerful. I think I saw 2. But past that, you still need to draw 2 prize cards. That's going to be the harder part, I feel like. I think Ethan should maybe set up a second Lugia as long as they have a V-Star to work with from here. Thinking about grabbing the Charizard. That seems pretty good to me. I was unsure. Goes with the way. And goes for the Serena. So maybe doesn't actually have the way to take the knockout. Instead has to commit to a Serena knockout on the bench Lugia V. I thought they had double powerful, but maybe I was missing something. So it looks like that bench Lugia V is going to be the target here for Ethan. It must be down 3 powerful then, because otherwise you could get the knockout on the active, which I think you might as well. Thinking about putting double turbo on the Lugia, but that wouldn't work. You'd be doing 2 little damage. You'd miss the knockout if you put 2 double turbos on the Lugia. It has to be, yeah, those 2 and 1 more energy. They have double powerful? Are you sure? Oh, they do. They do have double powerful. So they could knock out the active here. And instead are choosing to chase the Lugia. V off the bench. Or maybe chase the Charizard? This is an interesting choice here from Ethan. I'm not sure I agree with this. We'll see how it plays out. But I think Ethan should just have KO'd the active here. Maybe Ethan forgot about their own choice belt. But they didn't forget about their own choice belt because they put a double turbo on there. Yeah, I don't know. KO'ing the active there just seems a little bit better. But maybe you want to KO this first and then deal with the next Lugia next. Maybe this does make the most sense from Ethan. Because you KO this Lugia, and now you can just like 2-hit KO the next Lugia. Maybe that does make more sense from Ethan here. In my head, I like the other play a little bit more. I guess this would get awkward, though, for Ethan. If Brian doesn't leave this Lugia in the active this turn, things get more difficult, right? Like if Brian retreats to Charizard, goes Charizard knockout instead, and gets his double turbo off the Lugia, and goes Charizard KO, which Brian might be able to do here. Yeah, gets the choice belt. So Charizard KO, I assume, is happening here, and even goes to set up another Lugia, which is weird to me. I don't know why Brian's benching another Lugia. But I guess the Charizard, if you attack with this is just so common. I hate Lugia mirrors. So like if you attack with Charizard, Ethan can attack with Luminion. So you don't want to do that because then you take the 2 Charizard off board. But maybe you don't care about that. Yeah, Brian is setting up another Lugia. There's the attack with the Charizard. But I think Ethan has game here on the next turn with Gust KO on another Lugia V. We'll see. There's the Luminion send up. It has capture for Charizard, Ultra Ball for Ultra Ball or Quick Ball to grab second Luminion. So if Charizard and Luminion are in the deck, I think this is game for Ethan. Yeah, there's Charizard, there's Luminion, 3 prize cards left, so should be game. Luminion for boss, capture to the active to grab the Charizard, and yeah, Ethan wins 2-1. I can't understand after watching this, after watching this game, I can't understand why anyone would play Lugia when it's the most popular deck. I hate Lugia mirrors, man. And yeah, Ethan gets the dub 2-1. Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would play I just moved to Malaysia and rats are everywhere here, so trying to join their pack. Hopefully they're friendly rats. Yeah, after watching this best of 2, I don't understand why anyone would choose to play Lugia when it's the most popular deck. Now, if Lugia was like 10% of the meta, I'd be like, okay, cool. Then I'd be like, okay, then I would probably be playing Lugia personally. But when it's 30% of the meta, why would you ever want to play that many mirror matches of that kind of match? It doesn't make sense to me. Makes sense. Maybe people enjoy different things though, right? Like some people just have a lot of wrong takes, I guess, but it's whatever. Sometimes people are just wrong, you know, and enjoy being wrong. Wild. All right, chat, I gotta go pee. I will be. What time is it? Yeah, chat, I gotta go pee. I will be right back. We're gonna get into round 14. Wasn't it? I probably will just do round 14 and 15. Oh no, it's only round 14 because they didn't have 800 players. There's no round 15, is there? It's 14 and then top cut. I'll probably won't be able to do top cut today. I'll probably do top cut on Tuesday before I play in the late night tournament. If the late night tournament happens on Tuesday, I actually don't know if it's going to. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right, chat, let's get it winning in time. We got Kim versus Luca. We've got Lugia with Drapion versus Mew. So final round here, round 14. Kim with the Lugia with a Drapion up against Luca with, it looks like Mew. Looks like Mew. Got the Parasol and Oricorio, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is not Fusion Mew. I'm going to guess that Luca is playing DTE Mew. And with Kim going first in game 1, I feel like in like a series kind of type situation, this already puts Kim at a big advantage, because now you get to go, like, if let's just say Kim wins this game, Luca wins game 2 because they went first. Now Kim gets to go first in game 3, and on top of all that has the Drapion. Now the Drapion is prized, which is not great, but if we can find it, then it'll be fine. Find it, it's going to be fine. Opening hand here for Kim, also pretty good as well. So I think it can even get double Archeops in the discard pile off the rip here. Has the Ultra Ball, and then has the Quick Ball. So yeah, double Archeops on the way. And if Kim knows the build that Luca's playing, which usually at this point in a tournament, the players who have been near the top tables for a little while know what the other players are playing. Oh, but Kim actually doesn't go for the Ultra Ball here. Instead goes for the Quick Ball. I'm not sure I like that here from Kim. I think getting double Archeops in the discard pile seems a little bit better. But if Luca is playing... If Kim doesn't know if it's Fusion Mew or not, then I don't hate this play. Also going aggressive with the Luminion as well. You want to be a little bit afraid of Path to the Peak if Luca is playing the DTE build. So yeah, the biggest thing here depends on... does Kim have any idea what build Luca is playing? And the way Kim is playing it so far makes me think that Kim does not know what build Luca is playing. So goes and gets the research, and then gonna pass over to Luca from here, it looks like. Because otherwise you don't really want to put down Lumini in turn 1 like this if they don't have Path to the Peak. Like, they can't... You just don't want to do that, so... All right, over to Luca. Yeah, it definitely looks like Luca is playing... Not Fusion Mew. The other build of Mew. Double Turbo Mew. I did see the Big Charm in Luca's hand. So I think one of the questions I have is this Sanders Advanced Technology Mew? Is there an Aerodactyl? The way that Luca looks through their deck is so bizarre. I've never seen someone search their deck like that. That's so weird. That's so weird looking. They like hold it like that. They hold their deck very unique. They play Echoing Horn. They got the Big Charm, but I want to know: is there an Aerodactyl? Oh well, we may never know. We may never. Oh, we got an Ultra Ball. We're going back in. We might know. Get rid of the Horn and the Escape Rope. Escape Rope's probably fine to get rid of. The Horn, that's a pretty big discard. Now Luca probably plays the Silene. Silene's such a super strong card in Mew. Most people run it, so it could get it back, but Luca holding his deck like that is criminal. Should for sure be illegal. Definitely should be illegal. I do agree. Luca should be headed to jail after this one. Big Charm on the Mew. Genesect number 1 happening. Got another Battle VIP pass. Oh, or dude, I'm tripping. I thought there was a Battle VIP pass in that hand. Plays a tablet. Second, so okay with losing a tablet there. Has a Judge and a Battle VIP pass. So we could see Judge Path here from Luca, actually. And to be honest, I don't hate the idea of Judge Path. Definitely going to grab another Genesect here. I think maybe we should grab another Mew. Could go for 4th Genesect, which I don't hate that either, to be honest. Because you could go like... Nah. Another Genesect is pretty nice, though. Yeah, you probably want the Mew Genesect here. I like that from Luca. Would have liked the Oricorio probably, but it is prized, so... And then, like I said, could go with the Judge Path play, which I think in my head makes sense to me. I don't know. You know, Kim has a research in hand. I kind of like Judge Path here from Luca. And then hope that you draw into a Stadium out on the other side of it. I like it. Let's do it. I'm down. Luca's down. Let's run it. Judge Path. Playing the tablet there, I don't know, but it did get them a little bit deeper in the deck, which did make a difference. It's probably correct to play the tablet there from Luca. Let's see how this Judge goes, though. It could go pretty bad for both players. And it's possible it only goes good for one player. The thing is, actually, if it goes good for Kim, it'll be fine for Luca, because that means Kim will bump the Stadium. And if it goes bad for Kim, it's probably fine for Luca, because that means Kim's not really doing anything. Yeah. Oricorio correct against Lugia with Drapion. Maybe. I have no clue, to be honest, on that one. But I don't know if Luca knows about the Drapion. That's the big question. Okay, research for Kim. Double powerful. Don't really want to see that. And a choice belt. So we should probably see powerful plus choice belt to the bench. Lugia. Yep, I like that from Kim. Charizard's still pretty good at helping clean up Genesects in the late game. But it's going to be a little bit more awkward to use when your opponent does play Path to the Peak. There's the Pumpkin. There's a Wash Energy. The Wash Energy. And there is a discard on the Archeops. So, I mean, Kim drew everything. Quick ball away the Archeops. Yeah, drew the absolute stones. Quick ball away the Archeops. Pumpkaboo bump to Stadium. Could maybe even evolve the second Lugia to a V-Star as well to protect it from getting Gus KO'd next turn as well, which I wouldn't hate to see here from Kim. But Kim's in a pretty good spot. But that would probably cost you discarding your Collapsed Stadium, which you don't really want to do. Or we could Ultra Ball first here, actually, as well, right? Well, actually, yeah, we can just Ultra Ball the Archeops instead. I actually like this more from Kim. Yeah, I like this more. Ultra Ball the Archeops, go from there. There we go, get rid of the Wash. Grab the second Lugia V-Star, which I like to evolve that Lugia so it doesn't get KO'd before Lugia can Gus KO it. Get it out of play. I dig it. I definitely dig it. Goes with the Collapse. Ooh, save the Pumpkaboo. Okay, I didn't even really think about this too much as a play, but I actually really like this from Kim. Because you get rid of one of the Genesects, you KO a Mew, and then also you get to keep the Pumpkaboo around for later game plays when you go up against more paths potentially. Like you can get your Drapion online out of their path or something. So yeah, big fan of this one here from Kim. Is eyeing up Speed and Cap, or potentially to eyeing up the second Double Turbo. The Heat as well as an option, especially with the Charizard gone, but Yveltal is still a card in the deck, I believe. Yeah, so a couple options here for Kim. I guess in this matchup as well, though, you don't need to have path bumped to use Drapion, because you can also just load up the Drapion with energy from Archeops, to be honest. But it's a nice option. I'm probably thinking about loading up some energy on the active and then some energy on the bench. Well, no, I guess none to the bench Lugia. All right. We could load up some. We could put a couple powerfuls on the bench Lugia. I think that would be reasonable here from Kim. Also, I don't know about attaching the Speed Lightning. The Raikou is still potentially a pretty good attacker in this situation. Could use the other Archeops to set up a pivot as well. But just going to go with the swing here. No, I do kind of like the second Archeops being used here. Load up a powerful on the other Lugia, or maybe set up a pivot by putting an energy on one of your Lugias. And Kim either just wants to check the deck again or actually wants to make a play happen. We'll see. The thing with Raikou in this situation is, like, if you punch a Mew, you can't really get a 1-hit KO on the Mew VMAX with the Big Charm, so you're going to have to 2-hit KO it. Or use Yveltal, I guess. If they've got a Big Charm, you could Yveltal it. So actually, I take that back. But you could 2-hit KO it, but part of the 2-hit KO could be using... Part of the 2-hit KO on the Mew could be using Raikou to hit that plus hit something else. All right, still a decent hand here for Luca. I'm not going to lie. I think... actually goes with the benched Mew. Does not evolve the active Mew. It's an interesting choice. Wait. Why? I guess we'll also leave open the option of finding a choice belt? Maybe? Doesn't play the Judge first. I think I would like to have seen the Judge get played first there from Luca. Try and draw more fusion Pokemon to use with that first Genesect use. And now I think we're going to see the Judge. There it is. Path, of course, not going to be as relevant anymore for Luca. Maybe in the late game. For the Drapion, if Luca even knows about the Drapion, or even finds out about the Drapion going... From this game, Luca might just not find out about the Drapion, to be honest. Yeah, evolving the bench Mew. I guess you're leaving open the option of the Choice Belt from the Luca here to get the 1-hit KO on the active. But that does mean that the bench Lugia can KO the Mew VMAX, the bench Mew VMAX, which would be pretty bad. Pretty good draw there, though, from Luca. Has a Genesect and a Quick Ball. And there should be... should we have to Quick Ball the Vacuum here? Oh, Quick Ball is a way that... Or are we going with the Crematic? Oh, we're actually using the Crematic. I think we actually could have... I was going to say, I think Luca could have Quick Balled away the Vacuum. I don't like that play at all, actually, from Luca. I think Luca could have Quick Balled away the Vacuum, got the 4th Mew V, put it on the bench, and then drawn with Genesect, and then used the Crematic afterwards. That's what I was thinking might have been better. Also, Crematic away the... Why not Crematic away the Vacuum as well? I think Cram Away Vacuum is probably better. Oh, there's a Collapsed Stadium in play. I'm completely forgetting about the Collapsed. I completely forgot about the Collapsed Stadium. Okay, with the Collapsed in play, then I almost like the idea of vacuum away Cramomatic, save quick. I don't know. Vacuum away quick ball. Nah, maybe it is correct the way Luka played it then. Maybe Luka is just correct with that line. Yeah, I forgot about the collapsed stadium in play. It's a good thing Luka didn't forget about the collapsed stadium in play, but I definitely missed that. Oh, wait, did they just get rid of the... They got rid of the choice belt instead, though. And they quick balled away the... Lost. They're really going for this one-hit KO here on the active. So they're just content with playing with 4 bench Pokemon here. They actually vacuumed away the choice belt, which I think is actually correct. It's probably correct for them to vacuum away choice belt here. Yeah, I'm kind of losing my mind on this one. No shot Forerunner. So you can punch here as Luka, but you're not getting the knockout. Technoblast coming in for 250 damage. 30 short? Yeah, 30 short. 250 from the Technoblast. 30 short on the Lugia. Could clean it up later with an Oricorio ping or just Psychic Leap later on as well. Psychic Leap would probably be pretty good. I would have liked Luka. Luka also quick balled away the Lost City. I would have liked Luka to try and open up their bench this turn. I see what kind of options Kim has. I'm sure Kim would like to go Gust to close out this game fast, but looks like that might not be the available play here. I think you probably want to get the Luminion out of play here as Kim. So maybe if you could like retreat this Lugia, attack with Luminion, and then maybe get like, maybe get like a couple energies set up on the other Lugia as well. Open up a bench space. Yeah, open up a bench space would be the main thing here. And not a whole ton of options in the hand here for Kim. Yeah, I think we are going to be looking at that Luminion play here. You don't want to leave too few energy in play because then them chasing Luka chasing Archeops would become an option. But at this point, actually, you're probably too far behind for that ever to be a reasonable play. And yeah, the Luminion attacking here also sets up the 2 KO. 1 piece greater than PTCGO. What about 1 piece greater than PTCG? Because PTCGO is just the client. I mean, I could see it. I've never played the game. It's possible, but it's probably unlikely. Thinking about grabbing that double turbo. Goes with another Aurora. Throws it on the Lugia. Has a powerful in hand, which you might see come down on the Lugia here. I wish we could hear the judges in these kind of scenarios. Because they're talking to the judge right now. But I'm curious as to what the judge is concerned with. Alright. Second powerful. There's the retreat from the Lugia into the Minion. Here comes the hit, and I think probably just going to send up an Archeops here from Kim, which seems fine to me. Sending up an Archeops here. No, sends up the Lugia again. I think sending up the Archeops made a little bit more sense. You want Luka to take a 1-prize knockout at some point. Yeah, you want Luka to take a 1-prize, and you have enough energy set up in play at this point where I think Kim could have probably sent up an Archeops there, to be honest. But now this opens up the opportunity for Luka to go for the Psychic Leap, right? Like, I feel like Luka can Psychic Leap here now. Oh, no, you can't, because Luka's bench is still locked. Because Luka hasn't unlocked their bench yet from that collapsed stadium. All right, never mind. I was like, all right, that seems good. But no, yeah, Luka vacuumed the collapsed, quick balled away the Lost City. But Psychic Leap would be pretty good here if Luka can get to it. Heads on the Silene. Is thinking about grabbing Path to the Peak. What is going on? No, this can't be correct. What the heck is going on? Why do you want... Oh, wait. Wait. Okay, so maybe what Luka is thinking is the reason that Kim shuffled the Luminion back in the deck is because they need access to Luminion. Maybe that is fair. Maybe that is fair from Luka. You do want to open up your bench. I thought Luka would try and open up their bench with Lost City, but instead they're trying to open up their bench with... the way Luka's going to open up their bench is through Path to the Peak. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like you opening up their bench with Path to the Peak. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Not a big fan. I think they can get the Psychic Leap here, though. They will have the Psychic Leap play. It does stop Kim from losing Luminion on their side, but that's like the only thing it stops. And then, yeah, I think the Psychic Leap play is happening here for Luka, which is nice, but I'm pretty sure Luka's hand is dead besides a boss and a Cramomatic. I'm just not sure why Oh, does it not even KO it? Am I trolling? Okay, no, it is got knocked out. Okay. I was like, is it not knocked out? Holy moly. Should have opened up bench last time with Lost City. Yeah, I think that would have been way better for sure. Yeah, I just don't think the path does too much against Kim. I don't know, unless Luca's like really making a hard read that Kim needs access to Luminion to do anything this turn, which is possible. It is possible that that's true for sure. We can see on this side it's not really that necessary on for Kim, but here comes a quick ball. I think Kim might have the Yveltal one-hit KO here, and it looks like they do, yeah. Which was the bigger problem for Kim was just like a lack of bench space to work with, to be honest. Here come the Archeops uses, grab their energy. Actually, there's not a double turbo in the deck anymore, but I think Kim has an energy in hand, so should be able to Birdkeeper into the Yveltal. And oh no, there is a double turbo. Oh, where did that double turbo come from? I thought there was 2-on-2 Lugias. Maybe I'm trolling. What's up, Stevie B? All right, Yveltal's ready to go. We got the Birdkeeper into it. It's sick. Everyone loves it. Let's get it. Draw 3 off the Birdkeeper. And then there's a the only other thing I see from Kim's hand right now is there's a Canson Cologne in the hand. You definitely want to play that because I can't think of a reason why you'd ever want that for the future. Got a quick ball, looks like. Thinking about going. Oh, got an Ultra Ball. You could Ultra Ball away the Canson Cologne. Yeah, I think you might as well. Might as well Ultra Ball away the Canson Cologne. I don't know though. I guess you do have. Well, it depends what would you want to get here. I guess. Instead of going to attach a Lugia, discard the Archeops. I guess keeping the Ultra Ball around. Play the Canson Clone. I guess keeping the Ultra Ball around because you know your Drapion's prize. So if you pull your Drapion off the prize cards, you can Ultra Ball for Pumpkaboo and then Drapion attack, which is kind of cool, I guess. All right. Let's see what Luca's cooking with. I think it's all in on this Cramomatic. If this Cramomatic is tails, I think Luca is toast. And that's a tails. Is Luca toast? Has a boss. So Luca here is... So the play that Luca's doing here is counting energy remaining to see if it's possible if you bring up an Archeops, will the Archeops get stuck? And I think Luca determined it's probably not possible. So concede and we go to game 2. Pretty one-sided affair in that one. And also the biggest thing was Kim didn't have to show off the Drapion. I guess it's possible Luca knows about the Drapion already, but it's also possible that Luca doesn't know about the Drapion. So definitely probably advantage for... Oof, also looks like a rough start for Luca. Hang on, we'll back it up a little bit here to see the full thing, though. All right, we should be getting into it right now. There we go. All right, yeah, rough start here from Luca. Quick ball for Mew. Yikes. I almost feel like you shouldn't have quick ball the side lean there as Luca, so you could possibly use the side lean to recover the quick ball to Genesect into quick ball to play the quick ball to get another Genesect to Genesect again from Luca. This time for Kim, both boss are in the last 2 prize cards, so low on gust effects, specifically them being boss isn't a huge deal because you still have Serenas. But this does mean that the Drapion's in the deck this time. So actually, no, that's not possible. All right, so gets a Lugia here from Kim. Definitely wants to try and find another Lugia. What I was going to say that's not possible is it could have been, Kim could have got a turn 1 attack with Drapion, but actually not in this scenario because there's only 2 V Pokemon in play for Luca. So turn 1 Drapion is not happening, although that would have been pretty good to be honest. All right, here we go. Choice Belt, powerful. It's a pretty clean hand from Kim. Does lose a Serena here, though. So 2 boss in the last 2 prize cards and using a Serena. Kim basically has no gust effect left. And the hand from Kim is pretty bad. It does have a Guru to work with, a little bit of draw power there, and has the Drapion. So, I mean, got the Drapion still. I guess that's something. Thinking about throwing back an energy. Does go with that. Drew into a wash energy. Perfect. Let's get it. And pass over to Luca. Top deck Oricorio is pretty good here. More Pokemon in play is just a big deal, so you can actually draw cards with your Genesect. Has the Parasol as well. That won't protect from the Drapion, but that will protect from the Yveltal. And now draw 2 with the Genesect here for Luca. Not much is a card off the KO on the Lugia. So actually a cheesy play you could do this turn as Luca is you can just copy... I think this is what I would do as Luca, is I think I would just copy Oricorio, and I would just ping the Lugia with Oricorio. Goes for the boss on the Guru instead, and the Path, and then now might copy Oricorio. Goes for nope, goes for Technoblast. Never mind. I was thinking we were gonna get the Oricorio cheese, but instead goes after the Guru. I don't know about boss and Guru there. I almost like the idea of saving the boss instead. All right, terrible hand for Kim, but does have a Read the Wind. Has the Drapion, but can't use it quite yet. I'm sure has been waiting to use it. Over to Luca. Luca could basically end the game this turn if they can get the knockout on this Lugia. And it's looking like it's all riding on the back of a Cram. It's a Tails, though. So what is Kim going to do? Retreat and pass? Retreat to Oricorio and pass. All right, let's get it. Luca passes it back over to Kim. I think Kim could actually knock out the lone Mew here of Luca's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kim could actually knock out the lone Lugia here of Luca's. Because we could see Quick Ball for Luminion plus Quick Ball for Pumpkaboo. And then that should be able to take the knockout here on the Mew. Reminiscent of when Garb whiffs Field Blower. Garb never whiffed Field Blower. If you're whiffing Field Blower as Garb, you're trolling. All right, V-Star Power. Double Chops. This would actually make Kim's board state kind of weird, but it's probably worth it, to be honest. There we go. I think just going to confirm everything's in the deck. I mean, actually, it's possible Kim has no Gust effects left. Oh, wait a second. Wait, 4 Powerful Energy, 300, 330. Yeah, this does KO the Mew on the bench. Okay. But it is possible Kim has no Gust effects. There's 2 Boss in the prize cards, and there's 1 Serena in the discard pile. Some people have been going to... I was actually going to be very curious if Kim actually checked the prize cards. Or now is checking to make sure the Gust effect is in there. And it's not in there. And this is why you always check your prize cards as soon as you possibly can. Specifically at the beginning of a turn when you search your deck, make sure your play is there. Because Kim has searched their deck like 3 times now and never checked for their play. And now is getting to that point and is like, oh, what the heck, bro? And now it's a little bit awkward for Kim. Not super awkward. I still think you're in a fine spot. Taking Birdkeeper seems a little bit awkward, though. Oh, but we can Birdkeeper into Luminion and then attack with Luminion. Okay, I actually like the Birdkeeper because we've only used 1 Archeops here as Kim. This is fine, actually. We should be able to use this other Archeops first, though, and go get Double Turbo plus. So we should use the other Archeops before we do this, get Double Turbo plus Aurora out of the deck, because we don't want to draw into energy off this Birdkeeper. So this is a missequence here, I'm pretty sure, from Kim. Kim should have used that first, get Double Turbo, get Aurora, because you can use Double Turbo to KO the Oricorio in this situation. Yeah, so that's definitely a mistake there from Kim, because Oricorio is weak to water. Some people actually don't know that. Oricorio is weak to water, though. Oh, has Kim already attached? No, they didn't, right? Did they? I don't think so. Okay, I didn't think they did. Maybe they did? No, they didn't. Maybe they did. All right, but now there's no Pumpkaboo for the Drapion later on. Yeah, no Pumpkaboo for the Drapion. So it looks like Kim only does play the 1 Serena 2 Boss. You appreciate the 14-1 sub there, Johnny. Dunsparce send up. Luca can draw 2 cards with Genesect. Let's see how it goes. Not good. Gets a Power Tablet and a Pal Pad. No boss grab from Kim, so Luca could run away once again to a Genesect. If you leave the Mew in the active, it does get KO'd by the Lugia, and you lose the game. So you kind of have to retreat to Genesect here as Luca. You could also just concede. I don't know. It's tough. You attach a powerful to Lugia from hand that turn? No. Maybe. That's what I was thinking maybe happened, but it was maybe the previous turn. It was potentially the previous turn. We could go back and rewatch it at the beginning. All right, Yveltal grab here from Kim, and then probably just loading it up with the Archeops. This Lugia KOs the Mew, and then the Yveltal theoretically KOs anything after that. So should be in a pretty good spot here. Should be in like an almost unlosable spot here as Kim. And there's a Drapion. Finally leaks the Drape. Doesn't use the Archeops, and there's a concession from Luca. All right. Well, that's it. Final round of Swiss, I believe. Let me make sure there's not a round 15, but I'm pretty sure there's not. So final round of Swiss there, round 14. Kim with the 2-0 over Luca. I believe we're going to Top Cut after this, right? Yeah, looks like Top Cut. Okay, let's go to... Let's make sure they didn't play... No, see, yeah, there's 2 powerful energy this turn. Wait, no, that's not the same game. there was 2 powerful energy on that Lugia, though. I am not blind. Let's see. So Kim Singh gets knocked out. Oh, I think Kim maybe did attach return. No, wait, what the heck is this? Oh no, this is a turn prior though. No, Kim didn't attach return yet. I thought Kim was top decking that turn. No, Kim didn't attach return yet. Most of the top 4 was internet issues too. Oh, that's unlucky. All right, chat. I don't have time to unfortunately watch any of Top Cut. I started up the stream way later than I intended to today. Otherwise, we probably would have been able to get through it. So that kind of sucks. But we'll watch all of Top Cut going into or on Tuesday. We'll watch Top Cut on Tuesday before I play in the late night tournament, or probably play in the late night tournament if it's happening. I don't know if it's happening. If there's a late night tournament on Tuesday, I plan to play in it, and we can watch the rest of Top Cut before I play in the late night tournament. I have no idea what I'm playing in the late night tournament, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. All right, chat. That's gonna do it for me. It was a fun stream. Back on Tuesday. No streams on Mondays. So I'll see you on Tuesday. Let's go and find someone to raid before I do dip here. I don't really see anyone on right now. I feel like I'm the only PTCGO streamer who streams on like Tuesdays or Sundays or like on the weekend, it feels like. Or at least people that I know. That's not 100% true. I'm going to go ahead and raid Lorelei before I head up here. Have a good one, chat. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll go ahead and raid Lorelei. I'll be back tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'll be back on Tuesday. We'll finish the rest of the watch party for Liverpool, and then we'll play in tournament. We'll play in some late night and maybe do some games with what's it called as well. Some more. Hopefully the tournament is what's it called legal, because I don't just play the Radiant Alternatives deck. I don't know. I guess that's probably what I'll do. All right, chat. Have a good one. See you on Tuesday. Peace.